Hey everybody, welcome to this. Oh my god, I'm nervous. Welcome to another round of Canje Plays. And today we are celebrating 800 subs, and as you can see, all weird contraptions in front of me because this is the first time I'm doing this, and I am nervous beyond belief. So, welcome everyone. Who do we got? Hey Cynthia, you managed to stay awake. Woohoo! Welcome. I know it's pretty late there. It's like, oh, it's almost 11. It's almost 11 for you. So, but I'm glad you're able to stay awake and, welcome. Hey, Kate, what's going on? Hey, Brian, congratulations on 800 subs. Thank you. And for Cynthia for staying awake. Yep, Cynthia. Welcome everybody. So, oh, I see Kate's on 11 p.m. Oof. Start soon before Cynthia nods off on us. Yeah, so welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. This is celebrations. This is for you. This is 800 subs. It's a lot. There's a lot of beauty in that. I mean, every single sub things, I always say the same thing. I never thought I'd hit these numbers and stuff like that. And it's true. I really didn't think I would. I don't know. I watch other content creators out there and they've got pizzazz. I could use that word, right? Pizzazz. They've got pizzazz and they've got the lights and they've got everything figured out and everything's beautiful. And when you go to the table, it's just like this epic thing. I don't got all that, right? I got some lights. I got a camera that sometimes overheats if you've been on early enough to see that happen. And I've got some sort of wonky rules when I get into playing, but hey, Steven, what's going on? Steve, welcome. Thanks on the big milestone. So, but I've had that, and I've been fortunate enough to have such a wonderful community that has come and sat with me at the table, and we laughed. I rolled terribly, and we laughed some more. Well, yeah, I cried, y'all laughed. But overall, it's been a great ride, right? I've been doing this for 2 years. This is my second year of streaming, being a content creator, and hitting 800 subs has been fantastic. I've met a lot of great people. Don't, oh my gosh, get me all sweaty thinking about that. 900 soon, that would be cool. But I met a great group of people, like, I'm talking about spanning from content creators to non-content creators and people just hanging out in the community. And it's made me fall in love with the hobby even more because I get to chat, meet, hang out with everybody that is so fun. And Joe, like, you all bring smiles to my faces as we play games together because, I get heckled from time to time and it's fun. It's all in good fun. And so we laugh, we have a good time, and then I get to meet some really cool people. And I plan to go, because it's been, we're all at the table, we're all playing, and we're all communicating. I want to meet y'all. So I'm going to Gen Con this year, and if you're able to make it, I will see you there. Next year, I'm going to UK Games Expo, and I'm going to be dragging Cynthia and her husband Brian along with me. So I'll be going to that next year. So people who are in the UK who pay attention to what I do, or on the other side of the pond, as it's called, that go to UK Games Expo, I'll be there next year. But this year, Gen Con. This will be my first one to go to, and it'll be great. Production is one thing, but you do an excellent job with your presentation. That definitely takes tips from. Oh, thanks, Steve. That's amazing. But you do great work too. Steve's from One Stop Coffee Shop, and he has been amazing. He and I talk all the time, trading ideas on how to like tweak this setting, shift stuff. He got me this thing. So let me see if I can make it work. Does it work? There you go. That. So he helped me get that set up to where, like, before it was with the green screen, so it's shown through and you couldn't really see much. So he got me to work on that to make it super clear. So yeah, we talk all the time and we take tips from each other to see about making the what displays for you, right? Our presentation to you is as good as we can do at the time, right? We're always doing our best and trying to improve. And so I appreciate everything that he's done for that and everything that we chat about. I was supposed to be going there this weekend to hang out with Steve, but we moved it to next weekend. only because logistics didn't really work out. I'm watching our dog, and the hours of this dog sitter just didn't work out. Like someone to watch our dog didn't work out, so we're gonna move it to next weekend, and we're gonna stream us play. So I think Steve, if you correct me if I'm wrong, it's gonna be you, me, and Kim playing some board games. I'm gonna be taking Explored over there. We're gonna play some Marvel United. We're gonna play Street Masters. We got a lot of stuff lined up, and we're gonna be doing playthroughs, and it's gonna be fantabulous and great and wonderful, and it's gonna be cool. And I need to turn on the temperature because it is hot in here. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I'm kind of stepping out of, like, I can, it's just like the first time when I streamed, where I was like, I was nervous to play the game. I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to screw up anything. Well, now it's painting, and I've been learning from Cynthia's husband Brian. He's been teaching me how to paint minis. I'm not good, but I'm okay, and that's where the nervous thing is like I'm not fabulous, so we'll see how it goes. And now we need you at PAX U to meet Tiny Me. Oh yeah, Brian, I'm going to PAX U. I'll be at PAX U. We're gonna make that happen. So, and I wanted to also point out for this 800 sub stream, this shirt that I'm wearing. Do you see the shirt? This shirt was a present from Dan. Dan Roberts was like, hey, I need your address because I got a gift for you. And so he sent it, and I'm wearing this in commemoration. This is my Mother of God shirt. Mother of God. Because I say that a lot in Discord. So thank you so much, Dan. I wanted to wear it in honor and remember it, in honor of you and all that other stuff. Okay. So this is going to be really informal, but I want you to all pull up a chair, break out your note cards, ask me a bunch of questions about anything that you want. I don't care. And within reason. And I thought I recognized that shirt. Hey, Dad. And we're going to I'll be painting some stuff. I'll be painting some minis. I'll be using some speed paint some places, metal paints other places, regular paints in other places, and it'll just be a bunch of fun. What I'm going to be painting today, though, is Marvel United, because the game's awesome, it's amazing, and Steve, this is all your fault. So I'm going to be painting the minis as I have been painting them like since last week, painting these different ones. I'll show you one that I completed. It's going to be god-awful. I'm so sorry. But I'll be painting these other ones as we go through so you can see how we do and how things shape up. Okay, let's talk about camera angles. So a lot of people who are really good at doing painting streams and lining things up have these amazing angles of cameras so that you can see right up on the mini and you'll never see their big old head and stuff isn't in the way. I'm old. I'm blind. I need these glasses because I'm blind, and I have a magnifying glass to go through. So having an overhead camera is not really going to work for what I want to do, because all you'll see is the magnifying glass and not even the mini. So Brian, once again, was great, and he helped me get one of my cams to be close to it. So it's kind of a sideways thing, so you'll see it like this. But it's close enough to the mini where you can see the mini as I paint, and I'll try to use proper techniques with the brush to make sure I don't mess things. I'm not messing up, but my hand shakes a lot. I'm old, and so I will try my best to not infuriate or disappoint as we go through. Hey, Steven, what's going on? Pull up a chair. Hey, Stacy, how's it going? I think Marvel United may take first place in the Premier League this year. It will. It will. It will. I could talk about the game. I don't know if Steve's still on here. If he is, then he'll be able to talk about it too. But yeah, we've been playing this game like crazy. And I think yesterday I messaged him and I was like, hey, you want to play Marvel United? And he was like, yeah. So we played some games through there and had a good time with it. Okay. You want to see some paint minis? You want to ask me some questions? So we're gonna do all that. So pull up. Welcome to the table. Thank you so much for being part of this. I want to say thank you first to my Patreons. I appreciate you. You all help me so much. You have no idea. and to upgrade stuff. It goes all back into the channel. I do research on board games and stuff that I post for crowdfunding. I do upgrade equipment, and all that cool stuff all comes from. Thank you so much for helping. Also, thank you so much for being so uplifting, because in our Discord we're silly, so we just joke about anything or laugh about anything, and we have a really good time with it. So thank you so much for being there. I appreciate you beyond belief. So thank you. Thank you to my YouTube subscribers. Thank you for coming to just sit at the table to hang out and laugh and poke fun of my terrible dice rolling, with many, many more terrible dice rollings to come. So thank you so much for being a part of that and subscribing and holding on to that subscription and saying, hey, we want to give this guy a chance, see how he's doing. So, oh, cool, Tuesday. All right, June 7th. Gotcha. That's Kate and I are going to play a game on stream. So, thank you so much for my YouTube subscribers for just coming, hanging out, being there, and holding on to that sub and saying, we're going to give this guy a chance. I really appreciate it. And if you're neither, and you're not interested in subbing, or you just come from time to time and you just want to see what I'm going to show, or you'll just want to pop in if it's anything else, thank you as well. I mean, you're coming by the table, you're hanging out, we're chatting, we're having a good time. I'm fine with that as well. So thank you. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the whole community. Love it. I love you. So anyway, since I'm going to be paying, June 7th is your birthday, you better play a game on stream. Okay, we'll have to play a game for that. I'll have to rope you around for a Killforth game, Steven, so we can make it happen. Alright, so you've looked at this long arm equipment and you want to see what it's tied to. Let's get some information and then get down to the table about what we're going to be painting. So we are going to be painting Marvel United. We'll be painting just the initial X-Men that come with the X-Men core box, because I've painted all of the Avengers that come with the core box of this one that you see here for Marvel United. But I got a 7.7 on Board Game Geek. The weight's about a 1.81. It's not a complex game, but it's fun. It's so fun. And I think that the thing is the mechanics. Steve and I were talking about this the other day, where it was, well, what makes this game so fun? I think this is one of those games where mechanics win. Like, they didn't have to use Marvel. They could have used DC. They could have created their own line of heroes. They could have done whatever they wanted. Marvel was just like the icing on the cake, as the mechanics are fun. There's so much different variety and different things to do that it makes it a good play. So, ooh, if Steven's available, I'll play Kate. I will do that for his birthday. But yeah, and I think that's what wins. So anyway, this is what we're going to be painting. So let's get down to the painting table. I have to make a special scene for this. All right, so see, we've got Professor X. So we'll be painting him, and my magnifying glass is right here. So it's gonna look kind of wonky, but at least you'll be able to see as I paint a character. And yes, I have, as you can see, this thing's gotten a lot of abuse as I've been using the airbrush, as well as that's what the Zenithal highlight. This is a Zenithal highlighted, airbrushed. So I primed in black, and then I Zenithal highlighted white, and this is how it came out, right? I know a lot of people would make it completely white or completely gray, but this is how I did it, so I'm not a pro. If you want pro stuff, you came to the wrong place. So hopefully, I wasn't trying to impose. Oh, no, Steven. No, you walked into it now. But hopefully this will be a good shot for you to see the paint as I go through and paint things out. And I'll talk about what I'm doing, but this is just Zenithal highlighted. And behind you here is the air sprayer and stuff that we use to, the hood that I use for air spraying, so we get into it. That ought to be good. Okay. Got my wet palette ready. And we are going to paint this guy as best we can. It's the best I can do. Let me see, what are we gonna paint? Okay, I need to get this stuff up, and we should be good. Okay, so with Professor X, he's the typical white dude, you know, white ball head. But he has, as you can see here, he's got some under, like, a shirt, a tie, and then he's got his coat. And the really great thing I've been loving, I do see Wolverine. Yes, this is Wolverine in the background, and he's been ready to go. This is one that I've completed. This is Beast. This is using the speed paints for Beast. So I speed painted him, and that's him. So that's him. And I just finished for Cyclops. So this is Cyclops that I've painted here. So you got that going. Canje always looking good. Brian is always proud. Are you trying? So we've got Wolverine, which is here. We've got, as you can see, my hands shake already. I'm super nervous. I really am. I'm so sorry. We got Storm, which is there, and we've got Jean Grey. So my plan tonight, for us to go through this is to paint her and Professor X. And then I'll paint these two later because yellow, I hate. Like yellow, I don't know what it is about yellow and white paint, but it clumps, it doesn't spread well. It's a pain in my keister, only probably because I'm not a pro at it. But we're going to be using yellow here on his chair so you can see what I mean of how it clumps and it doesn't spread well. So we'll be using my brush here. That's a 3-0. It's Nickel Pro Brown. Round. I bought this off of Amazon for like a set of 5 of these for like $7. So this isn't top shelf stuff. So when you see this and you're like, oh, look how fancy. It's not fancy at all. It's really not. So I'm going to be using a 3-0 for my brush, as you can see on there. 3-0 round. To really get, this is my prime one that I use for everything. Yeah, pretty much for everything. So I'm going to be using this one to paint on there and see where it goes. The speed paint yellow works pretty well. I'm using it on my Hour of Need minis. I was looking for a speed paint yellow, and I've got the mega set, but I don't see it. That's the thing. Like I have all the different, oh, I see it. It's just super dark because of the wash. And on his specific one, and I can show that. Let me show that. Let me do a, I think this is a window capture or a browser. I think it's a browser. Nope, it's window capture. And let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. So this is the one that I'm going to be painting for him. Hey, Orbit, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Pull up a chair. Do it. You know you want to. But look how light his chair is, and I think that the yellow speed paint won't give off this high of yellow. So this is kind of what I'm going for. I've got greens. I've got some blues that I'm going to be doing, the white, and then his face. And I don't do eyeballs. I suck at it. I need to practice more, so this is what I'm going to be doing right here, right? Just to kind of let y'all see how this is going to shake out. So with that in mind, we're going to start on, basically I'm going to start top down. So we're going to start on his head. I'm going to get that just come with the specific one I'm using, which is this one. This came with a set, and you'll see me shaking it. I have no painting supplies yet, and I need to finish decluttering, organizing to even have paints. So this one, I'm going to be using Tan Skin. This is part of the Master Series paint. This was my first paint set that I bought from Amazon. That was the Master Series paint that came with Tan Skin. Since then, I have a lot more skin tone ones, but this one I keep coming back to only because it just works really well. So I'm going to be using this as what I'm going to be starting with, which is Tan Skin. And you'll see as it goes on, when it dries, it really works itself out. So I'll pour that here, my wet palette, and I get some paint on it. Because I'm going to be going over his old biscuit head, we'll go with it. So, like, it's just kind of a go on, and as you see it come go on him, you'll say like, "Oh, that doesn't look like it's gonna sit well." But when it dries, it looks amazing. Like, I love it. So nice strokes, right? I don't have a technique for doing the paint strokes where it's gonna be, oh, you stroke in one direction. I'd be stroking. What I'd be doing. Um, and I'm just gonna blot it all over his face. I'm gonna fill everything, the eyes, the nose, just the whole face. Just smear it on, cover him up. You gotta get some paints. You gotta get them paints. So just cover it all up. And if y'all have problems seeing this, let me know. I'm just kind of going with what I can see from the magnifying glass. But if you're all like, yeah, I really can't make this out, I'll make some adjustments to see if I can make it work. But you just smear this bad boy on. See, my hand will shake, but that's two-part. One, because my hands shake, and two, because I'm so scared and nervous right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't. The thing about, and that's the thing about the speed paints too. Like, I can't use the speed paints for skin. It doesn't come out the way that I would like. So I usually stay away for it for skin. But I use speed paints on a lot of stuff, and it does cut down on a lot of time. The problem is though, is that with the speed paints, I get super nervous and I get super detail oriented, and I spend more time than I should trying to fix something or go back over something or set something up because I don't know, my brain just says you're screwing up, you're gonna make it terrible, and people will hate. Alright, so just throw it all over his old biscuit head. I won't put it on his hands yet because I'm gonna paint, like I said, we're going from top down. Yes, yes, Brian. The speed paints are from Army Painter. I can show you one of them. I'm gonna on here. So this is the blood red speed paint that comes from Army Painter. So yes, it's the mega pack. These contrast paints. Hey, Greg, what's going on? Maybe I do. Maybe I do need a cocktail. I was thinking about grabbing a drink while I paint, just kind of be like the paint and chill type of thing. And then I was like, no, what happens if I get like, hammered to say something stupid online? The pure white for the shirt that I'm going to be using is once again the Master Series paint, but it's just pure white. If you have Army Painter, if you have Vallejo, any of the other ones, just grab. It's the same thing, right? White paint's white paint. I hate white paint only because it does not spread well. It clumps, and even when I thin it, it's either I thin it too much, or I don't thin it, or I don't thin it enough, and it just annoys the life out of me. So, we should grab some white paint for his shirt. Like I said, I'm going to be working from the top down, and yes, the paint is still wet on his face. Do I want to get that wet? We are. I could go back over and fix. What I usually do, my technique for doing this stuff, this too long lasts my job. But what I usually do is I will paint, I will then get the really nifty areas done, and then I'll go back over the common areas and just touch up as I go. So if you're like, oh, well, you got some white on his face and it's gonna mess all that up, don't worry about it. You can go back over it and fix it. Ain't no thing. It'll all work out. It'll be all right. We're gonna get some white on this brush. And y'all are probably gonna see my hand shake to bits as I try to do this now. But remember, this is a 3-0, so this is really good at detailing too. So I could go on here, and as you can see, I'm just gonna dab here and here just to get his shirt. And it's okay. I want to bleed it onto the jacket only because the jacket is the part that hasn't been painted, and I'm just going to cover it over that instead of bleeding it onto his face. So to me, if I get the jacket, that's all right. And I could get the tie too because I'm going to cover over the tie. It's just to avoid the face as much as possible. And I'm going to hit so many things because I got to go at these weird angles. See, here I've thinned it too much. I got to keep going over this thing that I hate so much. I'm going to hit the camera, so the camera's going to shake. But I promise it's not going to shut off. It will just shake a lot. Because if I was left-handed, this would be so much easier. But I'm not. Get all in here. I don't care if I get the shirt. I'm going to fix that later. I get all in there. And you'll see as we kind of complete him out how I go back and I fix this, because you're looking at this being like, oh, he's getting it everywhere. This guy sucks. Yes. But, and it's part of my way of kind of saying it's okay if I don't get everything or I mess up something, I can fix it. So see, we kind of did that circle around his shirt to just kind of get the top. And you're looking at it and you're looking at it as it looks like, okay, well, it's covering up way, way, way too much, but that's okay. Because we're going to do that, and we're going to let those two dry. All right? We're going to let those two dry, then we'll come back, do the tie, do the jacket, do the sleeves. Actually, I could probably do the sleeves. We could do the sleeves of the shirt now. And if I'm gonna look up a chat in 1 second. This is where, like, you know that meme that they put with Gollum painting someone's eyes, you know, where he has like no. That's where I am right now. But just to get the sleeves. It gets on his hands or jacket. I don't know. This is my line of delineation. There we go. Boom. So it looks a mess. I promise you, I'm going to fix it all. It's all going to look great. It's all going to come out and be fantastic-ish. All right, so we need that to dry so we could do the tie and then start on the jacket. And then kind of finish off with the big old chair that I keep hitting this camera. And start off with this big old chair to paint this. And we could do we could do the yellow on the chair now, but the thing is, I want to, if I mess up with the jacket, I don't want it to be a thing, and the chair is really easy to do because it's all yellow, right? We will do a dry brush on it to get that like nice white sheen on the yellow. Once we get the yellow down, then we'll do the detailing on the eyebrows and everything. But while we're waiting for that to dry, pop him out and pop in old red and gray. And we've got her set, which is here, right? So we want to see how we're going to paint her. Cool, cool, cool. We can do that. This is what we're going for her, right? This image. So for her, we're going with, she's got this nice, like, reddish orange hair that's built out. She's got, we're going to use the metal blue because I fall in love with that color for the blue stature on her. And then she also has some yellow. But once again, it's a lighter yellow. And if I use the speed paint on the yellow, it's just going to get too dark. And I don't want to darken it, then dry brush it back up. Instead, I'm going to go yellow and then darken it down a little with a little bit of dry brushing of like a brownish black to get that. Then we'll do the pink around Dr. Evil. Then we'll do the pink for the psionic energy that's coming off, and then we'll dry brush that with a white to get it that nice film on there. But once again, this is the kind of in-out mentality. But to start with her, I'm actually going to start with the her face, and then I'm going to do the blue, metal blue around for what she has on her, then her hair. So that's kind of how my eye is seeing the breakdown of that. Now I know people will do things completely differently, but that's how my brain's doing it. Now what I'm going to use is this lovely metal color called Elven Armor. I use this on Cyclops. I've used this on Captain America. I've used this on another villain or something. Some other one that I painted, and I'll show you the ones that I painted, but I've used this on them, and I have loved how this color dries. I really love when this dries. It gives me that sheen of comic blue, like from a comic book, that I really, really love. So this is Elven Armor from Army Painter. So, yep. So a lot of army paint. But these are metallics. So if you're looking for Elven Armor, they're in a set of metallic paints that come with them that you would do. Professor Biscuithead. So when you see it go on, you'll be like, okay, well, that's a little bright. But when it dries, oh, it shines so pretty. So pretty. So we're going to get the blue like that. And I don't mind if I go over her symbol because I'm gonna color that in another blue. Have it on her face doesn't look. So this is kind of my mark of where I'm going to stop with the hair, because when I start spreading the stuff on her head, it's gonna get like, I'm just gonna be throwing it on there. And I want to make sure I respect these specific corners that are here. That goes around her face. What are y'all talking about in chat? So and for people who are wondering, like, oh, you got your Marvel United stuff delivered on time, I didn't. I didn't pledge any of it because I saw the chibi stuff and I was like, pass. But I got Steve taught me how to play it, and I fell in love with the game. That I went searching for it, and I found there was a bundle on Amazon that sold for $50 that came with the base game. What did it come with? Came with like the base game and Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse and Doctor Strange, and then I got the X-Men one on the side for like $30. And I was like, okay, sold. I loved it, and I played it some more, and then I really, really enjoyed it that I went looking for the rest. I haven't found everything yet. I don't have everything, but I would like to get the rest of the stuff because I really like how the game plays. So it's a lot of. So you see, we've got the metallic blue on her. I can move it. Yeah, so the metallics are on her, looking pretty decent. And when it dries, it just looks so good. Oh, good. Hey Doc, what's going on? Oh, that YouTube thumbnail. Yes, let me talk about that YouTube thumbnail. So, we were playing Pandemic Legacy last Thursday, and I said I was gonna do a stream for and whatever we want to do, and someone said painting. I was like, yeah, and I think Steven was the one that says, "What do I look like Bob Ross?" And Kate was like, "Oh, really?" And so she made it a thing, posted it in my Discord, and it's been a comedy ever since. So I was like, if you make it, I will put it as my thumbnail, and I did as promised. Put the paint, the same face paint color, the tan flesh, the tan skin on here. on her. And what's funny is that I'm kind of actually painting with a handicap right now because this magnifying glass comes with a light, and that light helps me out greatly. But we're doing it without, because when I used the light while I was streaming, it became too bright for you all to see. And even when I was tweaking the settings, it just wasn't enough to fix it, so it didn't work. Sometimes I shouldn't be allowed to do things in Photoshop. I know, right? I know. But beautiful things get made. See, like here, I touched on the metal piece. It's like, oh no, I touched on the metal. Hurry and dry it off. Nah, it'll be alright. I can retouch over it later. I got tired of going and getting napkins to keep wiping off all the paint that I screwed up. I was just like, you know what? When it dries, I'll just paint back over it. It'll be no big deal. That'll be part of my touch-up step. Yes, and you see me rolling this mini around in so many different ways. Ooh, that's shaky. We're going. We get it all on her face. And that's cool. We got that. That's the only part of her face that shows. Skin. We do that. And then when this dries, I'll take care of the gem in the center as we do touch-ups. But we got more metallics to go. Okay. Prime her up. It's around her just right here. Nice metallic on there. The collar, yep, collar's blue. I'm just gonna set this on here, and hopefully, if for y'all who are on here, hopefully y'all are, you know, if y'all want painting with me, I think it'll be good. I think Canje makes a good Bob Ross too. Well, we're gonna paint a happy little medal on this one here, happy little medal. And good morning sunrise to Jean Grey for her happy little attitude for being part of this experiment. And we're gonna paint a friendly shoulder shield, just nice and friendly. So it comes out and says good morning to you. I don't know how that guy could stay positive, like, for the amount of years that he did that show. I guess cashing the check makes you feel positive. Like, I'd be that happy too. I'm gonna cash this happy little check. I do use them a lot, Dan. I have used them. I'll show you. I plan to use all metallics on Magneto. But I'll show you the metallics that I've done so far. And you could see how they shape up when they're dry. You get this field. And see, I'm getting it on her hair. I don't care. I'm gonna go back over that. So that's the one thing to keep in mind if you're like painting. You're like, oh well, I'm not gonna get it precise when I put the paint on. Don't worry about it. You could touch it up. You could touch it up later. Don't try not to get in your head about like not getting it perfect. But you see the see the metals that are going on her. That was me like completely my mouth falling out of my face. So the metal's going on her, and it doesn't take much, right? The metal like coats really well onto her that it just kind of works out. I wonder if Cynthia, if Brian's still on, is he yelling at me for my bad technique? Brian's been teaching me how to paint, and he's been showing me the proper techniques of holding a brush and painting all these things on. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna kind of break some convention and and make this thing so that I can get the angle that I need. I'm gonna hold it like a pencil and just make this thing go. But every time I do, I hear him in my head. That's not good. That's not good. Good practice, Canje. You gotta work on that. You gotta move your hand away from there. He's in my head. He's in my head. All right. So, as you can see, we got the metallics on there for her, right? Metallic paints. All right, Doc. Thanks for joining. Later. Oh, Cynthia's gone. I'm fading fast. I'll catch up in the morning. Congrats, Canje. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Have a good rest. But there we go. So we got that on there, and that's where it goes, right? There's some that goes in the nether, yeah, that we gotta get, but we'll fix whatever we splotch over. Put it there as well. Okay, so metallic is on her. And when the metallic dries, we will do the suit, and then I have to do the mixture to make her hair color. Because I don't have a color that is that kind of red, I have to make it. But I have the two colors I'm going to use to make it with. So we will put her off to the side and go back to Professor Biscuit. And all this is dried, and now we're going to do the tie. So look at that. Look at the skin now that it's dried. Look at that. Look at it. It looks so amazing. It dries really well. I did put plenty of I did put her to sleep. I did put her to sleep. So what we're gonna use for his tie is his tie is kind of like this darkish shade of blue. I would use a speed paint on the tie, but it's so small and the contrast paint is wet, right? So when it goes, it immediately runs that it would ruin the shirt. Ruin the shirt. So instead, I'm gonna go metal again. And we're going with Azure Magic. Azure Magic, which is a metallic from Army Painter. And I was saying I was gonna show you. Here is me. Here is the Green Goblin with the purple metal on him. So that's a metal that's on him that I painted. So that's the Green Goblin, and the metal on the glider, as you can see here. But as you can see, the purple, all that purple is metal, and the green is speed paint. So I did all this with 4 colors. The purple for the metal, the metallic purple, the speed paint for the green skin, the silver, the brown for the satchel, right? And also the buckles around him, and I did color in the buckles as like refining, as you can see. And then I did orange for the pumpkin. I did orange down here, and then I kind of dry brushed some orange on it. And then I did like plumes of reddish orange on the back as he's flying out. But this is another example of the metals that I used. Another one with metals that I used is Ultron. I painted Ultron with metals. This metal is gunmetal that I used on him. So this is gunmetal that I used for him, and then I just touched him up with some orange, and then did a Nuln Oil wash over him to get like that metal tint for what he is. So I did that over there. I did metals, the metal red for Iron Man. So I did Iron Man here. So you can see I hate how the white turned out. You could barely see it, so washed out from this shot. But this is Iron Man with the red metal. I did Captain America with that same blue that I did for Jean. This is the exact same blue that I'm using for her outfit. And that's Cap with the metal on. I did the metal red for the shield. So that is him with the metal. I did metal for Spider-Man. So I painted him completely. That's all metal paints. So red and blue. The only white there is of his eyes, and then I had to do the outlines of black for the rest of the outfit. So he is... I painted him with metals. And I used the red metal for Miles. So I painted him with the... That's the red metal on him. So I did those, and then Doctor Strange. Of course, that's gold. And then this is all speed paints except for the face and the hair. But it's all speed paint. I did those with the metal. Here. Okay, so we're getting back to the prof. We're going to go with this lovely color of metal that's on here. A drop, nothing big, and as you can see, this one is Azure Magic, and it's one of the metals that are on. I like the metallic colors, especially for Marvel United, because color palette that they use just works so well with. But I'm gonna get real quiet as I focus. Usually when you hear people paint, then they just get real quiet. That's the focus point. That's where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna be quiet, focus on the specific. The other side of the thing. There we go. We got his tie on the white shirt. What we were going with. We got it. Alright, then we move on to... I need a little bit more. Smidge. Smidgen. I'll probably touch it up later, but... I like it. If I get it on his jacket, I don't care. I just want it on the mic. There we go. So we got it the way that we want for the tie. And then we got to get his jacket. So his jacket is a green, but it is a darkish green. I was thinking of going with more of the goblin color for the green. It's a little bit too light. So here's where the conundrum lies. So I did a speed paint on the Hulk. This is the Hulk speed painted. And this is with Orc green. Right? So I didn't do a wash. I didn't do anything. This is just the speed paint with the metallic purple on. I did the metallic purple for the pants. And I'm thrilled with how the metallic purple came out. I'm not thrilled with the green for the Orc color because I thought it was too dark. But with the speed paint, so like Orc skin was the one that I used for him as the speed paint. With the speed paint though, where are you? There is this one. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting my camera. I am so sorry. There's this one called Plasmic Bolt as a speed paint that may be lighter, and I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to dab it to see how it comes out. But it may be lighter to what we want. So it's coming out to about like that color. And that might be what I'm looking for. So I'm going to use this speed paint on his jacket. I'm worried that it's going to suck, but in for a penny, man. In for a penny. So we're going to try that out on his jacket and see how it comes out. They need to have like this green metallic that's dark enough that I can use on his jacket, but speed paint time. Plump it all on here. This thing's going to make me super nervous. Do this. I'm trying to be as careful as possible because the speed paint activates other paints around it. See how it's already starting to bleed on the white? Ugh. Because it just runs. So annoying that I have to touch up that white on there. But that's how it goes on. So you see that? That's how it goes on, and it drives me crazy. I actually hate it now that I look at it. I don't like it. I really don't like it on him. What to do, what to do, what to do. Yeah, I just put it on him. And this happens to me often. I'll put a color on him and I'll be like, I don't like it. And the reason why is take a look at his jacket. His jacket's like this darkish military green. And the speed paint just ain't kicking it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. We're not speed paint. This is hot garbage. Alright, so we're gonna find the green that I care about. Not malignant. Plasmic bolt did not work for me. How about my greens over there? Huh. Can you still mix speed paints? Mix a yellow or white to the orc green, maybe? Are you supposed to? You can't. I have seen people mix them together to come up with like different colors and different color variations. You can mix them. I'm not there. I'm like my confidence level isn't there to do a mix of. I can mix other paints with speed paints. Oh, I'm not there. But as soon as this dries, I'm gonna paint right over. And I think I'm gonna use some form of military green. I got like 10 billion green. Ooh, there's the color. That's the color I want right there. Let me go pick that up. Let me get. Yes, this is the one I wanted. This one is what I should have used. Army green. That is the color of his jacket right there. I tried the Absolution Speed Paint, Janet, on that one, and it came out too dark. Like, I used that on another one. It's darker than Orc Skin. But this is his jacket, 100%. So this is Army Green by Army Painter. So we're going to use that. I plan to you will see me use speed paints. It's just, I don't use them all the time. I use the metallics more than I use the speed paints. But that is his jacket. And I can apply a light Nullet Oil to that green to get that color I want. So it's going to take forever for that to dry. So while that's happening, and for me to fix that nonsense, let me go back to her and mix up her hair. So for her hair, I'm actually going to use two interesting colors. I'm going to be using Lava Orange by Army Painter and Pure Red by Army Painter. So I'm going to be using these two colors, mixing them together. I'm going to go more orange than red and swirl it around to get the hair color I want. I did something similar with Black Widow. Let me show you how that came out. So this is Black Widow's hair with the mix that I did. So I'm going to go more orange on her and then kind of dry brush in the red for the rest to build the rest out. I'm going to shake these two out. And I'm going to make a tile over here for this. So lots of orange. Probably about like, and when I say lots of orange, okay, what's my color? What's my combination mix? I go 3 to 1.5, more or less. I just do what kind of feels right. Do those two. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. I get some water to mix it up really well. And I just swirl them around until I get the color I want. Yeah, that is her hair right there. I hit the money. I hit the money on this one. Alright. So, with our powers combined, we have created the red-ish orange that will go on her hair. And this is, I did a lot of orange, very little red, and it did this. So when it dries, the orange will come through. And if it doesn't, if it's redder than I want, then I'll dry brush an orange. If it's oranger than I want, then I'll dry brush a red. And that kind of makes it just work. But what you're seeing is like a lot of, you see that from my vantage point, it looks more red than orange. Probably from your vantage point, you're seeing more orange than red. But when it dries out, you'll see like I'll do the highlights of the dry brush with this to really make it pop out. And then we'll compare it to the picture so you can tell me for yourself, what do you think of it? One thing I found is to use the speed paints first and then base coat paint, which can cover any paint. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a smart move too, Janet. That is a smart move. To just kind of speed paint it first so that the run can run anywhere it wants and it doesn't matter. And then you can kind of go from there. That is a very smart move to do at speed. I probably should have done that. But usually, like, when I speed paint, it's over such a large area, I don't mind. And I did that with the Hulk. I speed painted him first before I did the metallic pants. Because I had to fix a bunch of stuff that ran over. I'm just kind of doing the lather areas that I know I'm not going to screw up if I just throw paint on it. That's the thing, like I go with the grain more than anything else. I gotta go against it with how the camera's set up. As you can see, like you're seeing it going on very orange, but watch when it dries, and then we highlight that bad boy. My hand might be in the way of the camera, and I'm sorry. So able to see. And my setup's not the best. Like I said, there are people who are way better at this than I am, who've figured this stuff out, gotten all this stuff set up so that it looks fantastic. So you have to forgive me if you're like, ugh, camera keeps shaking, your big old hand keeps getting in the way, painting sucks. I know. I know. I know. Alright, I gotta move this. Sorry. You gotta do this over here or else I'm never gonna get this. This is just for the areas drawn on the lather. I'll be right back under the camera. I have to get this first. Okay, there we go. Alright. The hair is in fuego! Alright, and then we start being a little bit more careful as we get closer to. I usually like finding an area and then just kind of slide. My plan for this, and I need to wash this brush because even though I'm using red all over the place, I need to keep the point on my brush a specific like, I don't know, clump together instead of it being all spread out and mashy, so that I can get these fine areas when I need to. And I can really get into these fine areas. You know, get to the detail piece of the red. And what I do is I push on an area, and then that's when I go in. So I won't put my brush down. If I touch anything, like I said, I can go back and touch it up. But I try to get as close to it as I can so that this can make some sort of sense. Wow, that was close. That was too close. We're gonna get, like I said, we'll go back and we'll dry brush. What y'all see. And funny enough, well, not funny, but just an odd thing is there are certain colors of the color spectrum I can't see. For instance, purple and blue, when it gets like, this is blue, this is purple to me. This is blue, and this is like a bluish purple. This one here. So that's why I was like, I have a hard time telling. So what I've done is I read labels a lot, and I could see that this is pink. So this is nowhere near a blue. This is more like a purplish red for a pink. So, but my eye sees that as like a bluish purple color. So I'm label reading all the time to try to find, and I've done a lot of work in terms of like, okay, what's the off difference and what makes up pink, so that when I see that, ugh, I'm gonna hit this thing everywhere. So whenever I see that stuff, I can tell it's the color I'm looking for. Come on. I had to do research on hers to see that like that hot pink that was on there was what we needed. Slapping this camera like crazy. It has been fun. Like over the years, you get picked on for that stuff, and it's like, oh, I can't see color. Oh. No, I can't. Oh, I can't. I don't know if that's a trick of the light blocking me. I'm like, I'm harping on that. I think it's just a trick of the light. And it doesn't have to be perfect the first go, right? Go back over it. And when it dries, like I said, we're gonna dry brush stuff, so it'll all come out in the wash. The firefly joke in there. There's a lot of hair. My hand might be in the way for a sec, so I apologize. Just gotta get this hair that's underneath her. Paint's going everywhere. Oh, this is amazing. This is why I do this stuff privately, so I'm not horrible. There we go. Missed the back part over here. A little back piece. And we can touch up that metallic piece later. Who cares? We're gonna paint over that anyway. Is that all of it? Did I get it all? I did. There's a red hair. Voila! And then we'll dry brush it and make it look all pretty. Okay, while that dries, hopefully the speed paint has finished. And we can get the army green on the shirt. Right? Usually when it gets a little clumpy in the paint set, I'll just add like a drop of water and then twist it around until it gets a lot smoother, but then it leaves itself to be very runny. That annoys me to point. And this paint's going to reactivate the it may reactivate the speed paint, but that's the color I was going for right there. That is perfectly the color I was going for. As you can see, it's really coming out. Says ambidextrous or something. This is crazy. Colors. Spread. Spread on the chair. Who cares? But I do want to be careful of the sleeve. Probably have to touch that up again. That is the green I wanted. Is anyone painting along, or are y'all watching, hanging out? There. I bored you all to tears. Yeah, we're still there. Are y'all painting along with the minis? And if you don't get things perfect, like I said, you could go back and touch it up, or you could just say, you know what? Who cares? It'll be okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be perfect for you. And if you think it's good, then it's good. And hey, Matthew, what's going on? Just chilling, hanging out. Good, good. Still here, finishing up some work. Right, cool, cool. This is a weird piece. I need my magnifying glass for this. This is a weird piece. Trying to get his, like, the back of him. Backside. Jeez. I'm still gonna keep working. I'd like to, because um Brian was gonna paint with me today, but I saw, like, when Kate was like, "Hey, you're halfway to your next goal." I was like, "Okay, well, I need to get the stream scheduled." But I plan to do this again so that he can join and he can run through some tutorials and answer a lot of questions that people have, because he's awesome like that. He can show you his setup, because his setup is phenomenal. Like, his to be able to show how it paints, it looks amazing. So he'll be able to show. He's got multiple cameras and all this other stuff to where it lines up, and it just looks. I don't care if I get on a chair. I'm more worried about his. Got it. That's the green I wanted. That's looking pretty decent. I'll have to do some touch ups here and there, like here on this collar. Over it, because it's not going to look perfect. Right now, you're like, ooh. God, this guy's in question. Well, that here. That. Got jacket. Rose the white paint sits. I just hate it. Never forms odd. It stresses me out. But it is what it is. So there you go. Right, we got it going. Here. And when I do his skin, that should cover that up. So that is the green that I wanted on him. Yeah, Brian and Canje painting. That'd be fun. We paint. Brian and I paint every Saturday. Every Saturday on his Discord. Every Saturday morning, we're on there. He signs on. I sign on. We share our screens and we paint. Sometimes Locator joins us. Sometimes Bob pops in to just kind of have a chat. But yeah, you're all always welcome to come on his Discord, Brian's hobby channel, and just kind of hang out with us every Saturday at noon Eastern time. We're always painting on there and just hanging out. We're talking about crazy stuff, so you're always welcome to join us. How's that looking so far? What do y'all think? How's that looking? How's he looking? How's his old biscuit head looking? Oh. As I stop before the sleeve, his hand is still there, so I can finish off the hand now. Am I worthy? Am I worthy? Have I achieved greatness? I got a big pump. I didn't want to do that, but the speed paint keeps reactivating, shining through, and it's driving me crazy. Throw a big clump over it. Now, solving the problem. Solving the problem. Problem solved. And we're usually on there from about noon Eastern to about 2 p.m. Eastern. Because I think at that time it's about 7 his time. As opposed to glimpse. Glimpse though. And skin. Oh. Not able to stay on break at work. Congrats, Canje. Keep the good work. Thank you, Tara. Thank you. Once again, like the brush head's kind of getting weird, so I'm putting the same color back on, but I need the brush tip to be the shape, like the very thin shape. So every now and then I gotta clear it off so that I can get into these nooks and crannies. Okay. Here, see? How's he looking? How's he looking? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. He's looking good. All right, we got the time, we got everything. Hey, Canje just wanted to say congrats, surpassing 800. Thank you, Jennifer O. Thank you, thank you. Looking good, Janet? Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to let this dry. Then we're going to go to the chair. Then we're going to go to the floor, the rug. We're going to do a speed paint on the floor. I have the dark wood speed paint. And then we're going to use the speed paint on the carpet as well to build that out. But this here for the yellow. Janet, I am sorry if I missed this, but did you get the Mega Seed paint set? Yes, Matthew, I did. I did. Janet, I will give the speed paint of the yellow a try. I'm gonna give it a shot, and if it looks weird, all I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna dry brush it white, so we can lighten up that speed paint. But we're gonna try this chair with the speed paint yellow and see how it turns out. After he dries, and we go back to her. What do y'all think of the hair? Is it a good fit? Good fit, good thing. You see, I missed some pieces when it dries. Like, that's the problem with this thing. I can see my mistakes. I can see them. We just kind of touch up those areas. Probably. There. Now I'll get that missed area. But what do y'all think? So the hair, I mean, like I said, when I dry brush it, I'll take care of the weird little odd areas to make sure to focus on that to get the orange to really come out. But we got to deal with her yellow. I am wondering if I should deal with the pink first before I deal with the yellow. And I think I will. I think I'm going to go to the base now. Usually it's body then base. But nah, we'll stick with the what I'm going to use for her is I need to take a look at this one again for her. So what we're dealing with for her is kind of like this, like almost this yellowish, darkish yellow gray. So what we're going to do for that is I'm going to mix some paints. I'm going to mix Demonic Yellow by Army Painter. So this is Demonic Yellow, which is a pretty decent yellow color. As you can see on the top, it's like a little darker yellow. And I think I'm going to mix it with just one drop. So I'm going to do a ton of this, a lot, so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to do a drop, probably a really, really one drop of... Where are you? Of this Monster Brown, so that I can get just that darkened shade that I'm looking for from that. Like it's this color, but I need it just a smidge darker for her outfit. So I'm gonna mix these two together, a ton of this, one drop of this, and see what comes. And then we'll put it on her and see how it shapes. Ton of yellow. I mean, I just squeezed the bottle just now like crazy. A ton of yellow. And then we'll shake up Monster Brown and do like one drop of Monster Brown. Get my mixing brush, a little bit of water on it. Mix it all up. It looks like a weird eyeball when I put the brown on there. It just looks weird. But I'm hoping the yellow consumes the brown and not the other way around. Sometimes it takes a lot of mixing. And it does. Yep, and it gets the brown, it gets the color I want. And it's like, someone will say, you know, well, how do you know to mix this color? Honestly, I have to tell you, after a couple months ago, I didn't. I think what happened was Brian gave me the room to kind of say, when I asked him what a color would look like, he would say, what do you think? And then he would give me the color that he thought, like I'd say, it looks like this and this, and he'll say, the color that you're looking for is more, a little bit darker, a little bit lighter than that. Try adding this color. And then from there, I started kind of like developing that muscle memory to kind of say, okay, well, if I want this color, I know darker will go this way, lighter will go this way. So I'm able to mix it up a little bit now. So it's kind of like this trial and error of um, it's okay to kind of try it out, see how it goes, as long as you you develop that confidence in yourself to build it out. But I still hate yellow. Look, I want you to look at how the yellow is going on. I hate it because you have to spot it on. You can't just brush it on because yellow, like as soon as so when I spot it on, it goes that way. Watch what happens when I brush it on. Hold on. Here. See that? See how it pulls it off? It pulls it right off. And I'm trying to see if I can get her on there. You can see the leg? It pulls it right off. So instead, to make it work, you have to spot it on. And I hate spotting it on only because it doesn't leave a lot of room for like really detailing stuff. When you spot, it's this blotch, and when it dries as a blotch, if you put too much on, it's just this blob of color. It drives me crazy. I can do it fairly quickly, but it's getting the color I want for her. So the mix works. So for people who are just kind of getting into this and like mixing colors, I'm not too comfortable with it. You gotta. It's the same thing that Brian told me is like you just gotta mess with it, and it's okay. It's okay to find the wrong combination because you learn from it. You learn what the right combination is. So don't let the fear of like, oh, I don't want to get it wrong get you. And the funny thing of it is that it's just paint, right? So if you don't like it, wipe it off and start over. I mean, they've got a lot of thinners that you can use to get the colors off if you want, um, or you could just paint over it. Doesn't matter. But it's just to get over that fear of what that looks. Anyway, I hope that's making sense and it doesn't sound like a whole bunch of crap. Have to fix my brush. But that is the color I want for her, and it is bad. No so. It's pretty. And I put that on a part that was probably supposed to be blue. Yes, it fix that. So I have to fix that clump issue. You'll be like, oh no, I messed up. It's alright, I'll just paint over it. See, like this clump that's here, I gotta brush all that off so that I can get the leg thing displaying properly. But it's looking good. Here, blue. If I get anything on her hair, guess what? Paint over that. So this, I'm just gonna kind of go all in on the yellow just so I could get these nooks and cranny area, and then I'll just fix it. Fix her booty. When we get to that point, I need to be able to get all into these nooks and crannies of her. I just hate how it goes on. I don't know. It's bugging. Everything you said makes sense. It's a curse. I, on the other hand, am comfortable with my nonsense. Yeah. So if you're ever, you're ever doubting yourself, or you're like, yeah, I want to mix colors, but I'm not sure. Mix them together, and what you'll do is you'll mess it up, and you'll say, oh, okay, I know what not to do, and then you go from there. I always say this to my whenever people are looking for perfection for stuff, I always tell them the guy from Dyson who said he knows 99 ways not to make a vacuum. I wish I had a Prime Magneto so you could see how fast. Well, no, he's metals. He's not speed. Um, he'll speed paint somebody. But I need the brush tip to be exactly what I need. An interesting thing about, for people who aren't the painting perfectionists, is that there's certain areas that I'm okay where it's like, okay, well, I can't see that area when I'm not looking at the mini, so I'm just gonna leave that gray. And I've done that many a time. And anyone who's looked at my minis have been like, oh, I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. Probably shouldn't have pointed it out. So sometimes I do a little bit of shenanigans. And like I'm not getting in there. It's gonna annoy me. I'm gonna hate myself for messing something else up that I took a long time to get right. So I'm just not gonna paint there. Canje, have you tried any airbrushing? My wife got me the paint sets, also the airbrush. I think I used the airbrush to my table. Would have been more paint than the mini. Yes, I do use an airbrush. This that you see here, this what's behind here is the hood for it, and this is my airbrush. I bought this off Amazon, right? I didn't spend the ridiculous amount of money on it. So this is my airbrush that I use. I do use the airbrush quite often. So I use it quite often. What I use my airbrush for is I use it to prime, zenithal highlight, and varnish my mini. That's what I use it for. I paint with everything else. However, airbrush painting is a thing, and I'm not a pro at it. But I have to get good at it because when Primal delivers sometime in the next 5 years, those minis I would love to get the like vibrant colors of those minis via airbrush. But yes, I have an airbrush and I use it quite often. It has more than paid for itself, more than paid for itself with the cost of how much rattle cans are now. Having to wait for the specific temperature to be right for use a rattle can, it is more than paid for how much I've paid for it so far. So I would highly recommend if you are getting into miniature painting for priming, zenithal highlighting, and varnishing, get an airbrush. It saves you ridiculous amounts of time. I've airbrushed all these I airbrushed all at once. I primed them and zenithal highlighted them all at once, and it took me maybe 10 minutes to do it all. So, like I said, I don't want to say I can't paint minis today because I can't prime it because the temperature's not right. Or I gotta go outside because it's gonna smell terrible, it's gonna stink up the place. The airbrush, there's no odor. And I got a hood vent behind this thing that sucks in the particles so that I don't smell anything when I'm doing it. At all. You're not going to airbrush or sworn. Yes. Yes, I am. Well, whichever one delivers first. I'm gonna be like, as soon as Oathsworn delivers, I'm just gonna let y'all know what my plan is, so you will not be surprised. As soon as Oathsworn hits my door, I'm gonna do an unboxing video. As soon as it hits my door, I am going to come upstairs to the table, put the box on the table, set YouTube to live, and unbox it. After which, I plan to immediately start painting the minis while I read the rulebook. So, and then I will be scheduling a stream of playing that game very, very shortly thereafter. And it's not to me, I'm not doing it because it's like, okay, well, is this competition where I have to be the first online? I don't care about that stuff. I want to play board games with you guys. I want to play any board game. I don't care. I don't want to be the first to do something only because if I screw it up, I am forever known as the guy who screwed something up. But I have ever since they first premiered that game, even before the Kickstarter, and they were talking about it, and we were watching them sculpt like the guy who made the minis. Where he was doing Twitch videos of him going through it. I was like, this game is going to be amazing, and it has to hit my table. So I got a lot of stuff for it, and I'm gonna paint it. We're gonna play it. Oathsworn's on the water, and Primal isn't manufactured yet. My money is on the giant rat. Well, Dan, one container of Oathsworn's on the water. I think Oathsworn, yeah, one container of Oathsworn's on the boat right now. I looked at, they said that they were able to save money because everybody tipped, and therefore they put all the names of the ships that Oathsworn's on. One of them is outside, like waiting to port in California. Every other one is still in China. So some group of people will be getting their Oathsworn early. Well, not early, but before everybody else. Way, way, way before everybody else. And if I happen to be in that, I'll play. If I'm not, I will watch an unboxing, but I won't watch any playthroughs because I don't want any spoilers. So, yeah. Oathsworn is, it's on the water-ish. It's on the water, like it's 25% on the water. But yeah, I plan to play that game. I will be I'm not gonna say devastated. I will be very disappointed if that game isn't good. It's from the playthroughs I've seen of it against the giant rat, the rat queen or brood mother or whatever she's called. From the plays I've watched of it, it's just a solid game. So that one, but Primal is my, just the minis and Primals, just so I'm excited for it too. But Oathsworn is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I'm curious of, but I'm not as hyped for that as I am with Oathsworn. How's she looking? How's she looking? Is she looking good? My box probably won't make it. It's gonna be like what it was with Bard Sung, with so many other things. I'm gonna be in the last ship. Tiny Fred will get his first, and then I will get mine 2 weeks later. That's just how it shapes up. But how's she looking so far? Y'all still with me? Y'all think I'm decent at this? I'm all right at it. I'll pass. You'll let me live. So hopefully, I don't know. I have thoughts so that I don't need to share. I will just say, hopefully, when the ship comes in, it's randomly done to who gets it. And I say random. If I'm not in it, I ain't in it. But I'm not in that batch. But I want it to be random because I want everyone who's fought for this game and who's put a lot of love and time and money into investing and making sure that Shadowborn's good. I want them to get their, get their games too. It's not. I don't want it to be a shipment of Airmark uh, delivery. I'll be very disappointed if it is. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they'd do that. So let me state that. But people have disappointed. I'm thinking of all the Darkest Dungeon videos. You will hopefully get the paint later this year. Darkest Dungeon, I will play that game before I paint it. Kate, like with that game, as soon as that comes, I'll unbox it and I'll play it. But I'll paint it, but I'll play it before I paint it. Only because Darkest Dungeon's awesome and everybody should play Darkest Dungeon. But Oathsworn's a guaranteed paint as soon as it arrives, play as soon as possible. Like, oh, I think I got part of the rules now? Playing it. Do I know how to play the game 100%? Nope. Playing it. Will we learn the rules as I play? Yep. Yes, we will. But then again, I don't like, as long as I'm having fun. I don't. You didn't get the rules perfect. Who gives a crap? I'll figure it out as I go, and I've got a great community who's gonna let me know that I screwed something up, so I'll be alright. She's looking pretty decent, right? She's looking pretty good. Pretty good. And I think her glove, yeah, she's got gloves on too, so it extends up to her hand. Play before I paint. Oh, Locator. I know, and Locator, what's your, like, are you hyped for, are you, like, excited for Earthborn Ragers? Has there been any updates on that one? Because I know Locator was awesome and let me get in on the late pledge for Earthborn Rangers so that I can get that one, because I meant to get it, but I kept procrastinating, and then next thing you know, the thing ended, and I was like, shoot. I really wish I would have gotten that game. So he's been very kind to me and helped me out. Let me get on the late pledge. And so I have a copy coming. Yikes. Same here, Longter. I don't think I'll ever be able to play with great plastic. I can. I can do that. I have done that because it lets me test out to see if gameplay mechanics work the way that I want. And I have a very high expectation for Darkest Dungeon. A very high expectation. The game Darkest Dungeon 1 is one of my favorite games. Um the Darkest Dungeon 2 is living up to the hype with how amazing it looks so far. So I have very high expectations of that. And if that game tanks, I'm gonna be ticked. Then all my hopes rest on Chip Theory games with Elder Scrolls. And if they screw that up, I might be done with Chip Theory games. Only because I say that only because Elder Scrolls and the World of Tamriel has been that's I love the Elder Scrolls IP. And so I've seen what's happened with Dark Souls, not by it isn't but Dark Souls wasn't done by this company, but I've seen what was done to Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all those other games, and I will be a not so happy camper should Elder Scrolls Fall, same suit. Yeah, they have finished Card Council and I think have moved into the next phase of testing. Sweet, sweet. So how's she looking? What do you think? What do you think? Do I pass? She's looking good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll get the blue bottom. We'll retouch up. You see that red that touched the metal there, so we'll fix that. We'll get the belt going in a proper manner, and then we'll work on the base on there to see how that goes. So let's do some quick touch while we still have her the boot. Like there's certain areas where I feel like I'll screw up if I'm not careful, so. And I'll hit the camera a couple times, so I apologize because this is kind of touch up central here. Pretty solid with her. I'm pretty good with her. There. Oh no, her bottom is completely yellow. Booty. Put an image. Blue. And that's where we'll get her gem while we're here, which is the same color as his tie, the Azure Magic. Make that a metallic. And just flip. Y'all didn't even see it. There you go. Look at that. Right now, I'm even get Stars of Akiros. Interested to see how that one plays. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I didn't even know that they were delivering right now. I late pledged them, and it'd be cool if they deliver. I think that's by OOM, right? I think that's by them. So I'm very hopeful because they did a couple of games that I was interested about. Yeah, so she's looking pretty good. She's coming out pretty decent. Her belt is different, but we're going back to Baldy. And we are going to speed paint this chair and see how it shapes up. So let me grab that real quick. We will grab the yellow paint. I don't understand how this is considered yellow, and I'm going to show you all this. This is the speed paint Zealot Yellow. Does that look yellow to you? Is my colorblind that bad? This is not yellow. This is red, but it says Zealot Yellow on it. So let's see how Zealot Yellow looks. It is red. I'm not crazy. Like, when you look at this, what are you seeing? Zealot yellow. Alright, Zealot yellow. Zealot yellow on my left cheek. Let's see what you come out as. Spread the stuff super thin. It looks like Polynesian sauce. That's what it looks like. So let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks. That looks yellow to y'all? It looks like iodine. I'll spread it as thin as I can, but it looks like iodine. Does that look yellow? I don't know, it's giving a reddish color to me. I can dry brush it worst case, but this is the speed paint. Look at that. Thin it is yellow. If you want to test the color, dab it on a paper towel. Yeah, I mean, I said I'd give him a shot, so I didn't mind. But it looks like Polynesian sauce, and it spreads like iodine. So let's thin it out. I'm gonna just keep wiping at it. Cool somewhere, so. Going over here. I'll keep thinning it. Taste this, see what it tastes like. Dan's trying to kill me. Gotcha. Noted. Noted, Dan. Noted. Put on a shirt for you and everything. Trying to kill me. So remember how long it took me to put that yellow on her? Look how long it's taking me to put this quote unquote yellow on this. I'm gonna spread it really thin. I'm doing one, like, I'm not dipping my brush in it. I'm just dabbing my brush in it and then just slathering it on. Is Rob the taster or is he the sniffer? Rob is the sniffer. He sniffs. He sniffs the stuff. Probably should see somebody about that. Definitely dry brush to lighten up. But it's covering the surface. Keep it thin and brush it go. Any excess. I'll have to flip the mini to get that. Any excess. Probably dry brush it yellow. Smells yellow to me. Start smelling paint. This turns into a different stream altogether. Canje after I don't know what. Canje on paint. Maybe that's what Bob Ross was doing. He was sniffing paint. He's so happy. I hope that it dries yellow. Like, because these red splotches are really stressing me out. Like, look at the front of that. See that red? I hate it. So I hope it dries yellow. Spreading it out. I don't need to get all the way up under there because no one will ever look under the mini and be like, oh, I could tell that's not done. Canje is the front part of the chair or the blanket over his legs. Let's take a look. It's the blanket. It's a blanket. Right here. Oop, right here. It's a blanket. I gotta get that's over his legs. So yeah, that's not that little lip piece is just a blanket that I'll paint red. Some type of dark burgundy or something. I really hope that dries yellow. Sorry if I'm shifting this thing around a lot. Alright, I gotta do it this way or else I'm not gonna do it. Sorry. Be off camera for just a second. Okay. Eh, eh. I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna hope a nice dry brush will fix this. Because I'm not feeling this at all. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Dry brush it or edge it with yellow, it will look weathered. Yeah, yeah, that's why I was going with the dry brush and just get a dry brush yellow on it to get rid of the red and kind of shine it, like you said, to make it look weathered, and I think that'll work. So we'll do this as a, that's where that one too. I need this to dry though, so I can do the red for the burgundy for the blanket right here. So we'll let that dry. And we will go back to her. No. Add more of kind of a. Going back to the metals. And I think hers. You don't want it too yellow, it will look like a clown car. You're probably right. You're probably right. Her belt. Belt looks to be like a yellow as well. So her belt still is yellow. But it's just the X-Men symbol's different. So she's just like yellow all through and through. Gotcha. She's not blue. Well, She likes the color, she sticks with it. She liked yellow. Then you'll see me detail the X later. Cool. Yellow belt. Yellow belt it is. Let's get going with this pink stuff that needs to get dry brushed white. So we're going to grab Warlock Purple. I know you'd say, like, use a pink. Pink is the way to go. Now, Warlock Purple. It's red, but it's more like, so let me show you this color. Hey, Heather. Thank you, thank you. So we do that, and then I'll show you this. So see this color right here? Tell me that does not look like that. But it's Warlock Purple, not pink. But this is pink. So I'll be using this color. And this is Warlock Purple by Herman Painter. Paints every. You go over here. Alright, this is another slather on thing that's gonna happen here. I just need to be careful around her shoes. We'll lay this bad boy on. And we will dry brush it white. If we get the base covered in a little bit, that's okay, because I'm going to paint the base a different color. So, yeah, it's a good match. Good match for it. So it's cross. I was thinking of doing the base first because I got to reach through her in some areas, which will get me to. I'll have to go back and retouch up, but I prefer that than having those areas that I have to reach through be something that I have to go back and reach through again to touch up with this, which would be a pain. But like I said, you just slather this crap on. I'm gonna clean it up anyway. Like the base itself, I'm gonna keep a dark color, and I'll use Necromancer Cloak, which is what I have been using to get any areas that I get with the paint that I didn't do for the base. I love this bad plant, but it's matching. It's looking good. Looking good. Keep hitting this wire. Yeah, I sincerely apologize for like if things aren't looking too clear or they're fuzzy or you see the camera shaking. Like I said, I don't have a good setup for this, and this is the first time I'm trying this. I'll improve over time. I'll learn, I'll grow, but for right now, this is kind of where I am with it. So I apologize if it's causing like any annoyance. Here without bumping the camera. there are some minis that are in here that have kind of an acrylic on it. Like for my season 1 collector edition, I have Phoenix, and it has like acrylic to her. I figured what I'd do is I'd cover the acrylic because I want that color that it came with like some type of tin foil or some something that could wrap around it, and then when I prime it, when I prime her, it won't get damaged, and I'll keep that tin foil on there while I paint so it doesn't get any crap on it, and then when it's done, I'll pull it off so it'll be pure. The tin foil crap. Don't be jealous of my weathered look, Dan. The weathered. So see, it's coming along. It's coming along. Lathering that bad boy on. Parts where I need to get where the camera is. So, pardon me. Gonna be all up in your face. Got one area. And I completely missed her leg back there. Oh no. Yeah, let's get that fixed before I start screwing around with it. This is why I need my light. Uh, got that one. Yep. I got it. So she's good now. You get the rocks with the purple. No. Here. There it is. Ta-da! I missed these front. Ta-da! I don't care if I saw it. Two. There it is. And there she is. Oh, there she is. How was the figure? Wait, what? Steven, you remind me of that piece of. Was the figurine have a was prior to painting it? If not, do you recommend doing so? X-Bar, I'm trying to follow that one if you're asking if I primed it. I don't follow the question. Can you say that differently, please? Was the figurine have a was prior to painting it? If not, would you recommend doing so? Yeah, help me out with that one. If you can, if you're asking if it was what they look like before I primed them, I could get one to show you. These came in blue. These were all blue. I just unlock every achievement for the base. Kate, you have problems. And I'll show you those, but these came blue. Villains like Mr. Juggernaut is red. So they come, and then I will prime him I will prime him black, Zenithal highlight him white, and then hit a spray of red and then touch up the metals on his outfit for him. But yeah, this is what they come. So yeah, I recommend priming them only because the paint will stick better to the primer than it would the base coat that's on there. So always prime your minis. Always. So she is nearly done. Wow. I gotta do like her eyes and her eyebrows and stuff. But she's getting there. She's getting there. Let's go back to Prof. If anybody read Sanderson. Prof. Here, Professor. We need to do some stuff with you. Need a light. Electric. We're gonna use for the lights on his an electric blue. So when we dry brush it, the white will really come out. We're gonna use this electric. This might activate the paints again, but I gotta try to make sure that it doesn't if I slather on enough. Should be. I already see the paint. I already see the colors activating again. What that means is that the paint's it's re-getting wet even after it dries. Yeah, the dry brush is gonna save this or not. I color match and paint tubs when they are damaged. I might be able to paint a mini. If you could paint a tub, you could paint a mini. You've gone quiet. That's great. If you notice, you see the yellow coming through right here. It's the paint reactivating. It's not drying. It's just the contrast paint reactivating, and I just gotta mute it down. No, you're not welcome here. Ugh. Really should have tried to avoid this spot. And it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Go over it a couple times. Alright. And we will. It looks awful, doesn't it? And we will hope that the dry brush helps my life with that. He's pretty much minus the dry brush. The face I'll get with the eyebrows and stuff. But the carpet and the floor need to get done. So for the floor, I'm gonna grab a speed paint. Where did you go, you big jerk? Here you go. I'm gonna be using this speed paint, which is dark wood. So that's for the wooden floor that he is on, if you can see there. And the speed paint comes out black, so see what happens. Alright, I gotta do something with this. This is okay. Speed paints. Here you go. Floor done. Wooden floor done. I'm gonna go around the sides and do that a different color, like I did for the rest. The wooden floor looks to be complete, and now we move on to the carpet. So the carpet, I'm gonna speed paint that too, and I'm gonna spray paint this color. Purple Alchemy by Speed Paint. So once again, this is probably going to come out black and I have to thin it. See how that goes. Yeah, it's coming out black. So let's see how what Purple Alchemy looks like on the carpet. That's perfect. Blue. Ish. Blue. I'm seeing blue. If y'all are not seeing blue, let me know. That's what I'm. Well. What are y'all seeing? On the camera, it looks red, but I don't know if that's what you all are seeing there. What I'm looking at, it looks like blue. No. Packer. Gotta blot that. It looks purple, but like a red, magenta purple. Okay. I just have to pull it from the camera. All right. Cool. 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 Looks like it's drying darker. Okay. Yeah. Went with that color carpet. I'm gonna kind of detail some of these designs on here later. That's gonna take a lot of time. But let's get the color on the control. Is that red? And it has some flecks of gold on it, kind of like dry brushed on. So I'll dab a gold brush and just kind of run through it. The red is there. The red. So looking pretty decent, right? So this just needs dry brush once it's truly dried out. Do a little bit of detail work on the carpet. I'd probably say with some gold. I'll do some gold detail work on the carpet. Let's go back to Sheen. So, Sheen coming up. It's sort of drying. Fix this stuff. Where are you? Sir? Where are you? How would you lose this paint? Here it is. Up. Okay. A little bit here. Here. I think that. And the color I'm using here is Necromancer Cloak to get these areas that I need to stay dark for when I do a wash, not a wash, but a contrast over everything that's on the floor. I just need it to be that color, so that's Necromancer Cloak that gets rid of those little blemishes we don't like to see. Wipe some red out. Oh. Alright. She is pretty decent. I need to get... What's her X symbol? It's red in the center, and then black front. So, get a little bit of red in the center. Red. Dot it. Out the red. Then once that dries, we'll draw the X symbol with black, cover it up like that, and that'll be good. This is still drying, so I can't dry brush that. But I could do her facial features for brown. Eyebrows are brown, and her eyes... I don't know what the hell color her eyes are. Green? Sure. Sure, they're green. Why not? So we'll go with dark brown. Highlight. No. Not oak. Armor. No. Do that. Dab. Draw. Look detailing. Why I hate it so. Suck detailing. Oh. Anyway. Of course, the paint runs out. That's her eyebrows. And usually, like, people love to do the lips to make the lips full and red. Ah, champ. I ain't doing that, but I'll do her eyes, and her eyes are insanely green. So, like emerald green. So let's make her eyes emerald. Because we've got just the thing. Hey, look, emerald green. Hey, Canje, subscribed while you were offline. Been enjoying catching up on your streams. Good work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, Dale. Oh my, I love the thumbnail pics. Thanks, Dale. Hey, Dale. Hey, Joe. Hey, HG. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. So we're gonna go with to get her an emerald green. Dot her eyes. I've been dotting the eyes, crossing the T's. Now I've been dotting the eyes. As we go through. Ooh, that did not do well. So I've just been just doing like dots for eyes in there in the areas that are here and here. For all of them, because I've tried to do eyes. I've tried. Alright, this isn't a well, I've done it once and it didn't work. I've tried on multiple occasions. And I don't think I have a steady enough hand or a the skill, a small enough brush to get these eyes the way to get like make them, perfect. And my hand's shaking crazy. So there's her green eyes. Thanks, Dale. Keep up all those campaign playthroughs. I know it's a lot of work. Yeah, it is a lot of work. You know about. Yeah. You're all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. You've taught me everything I know about about Marvel Champions and a few other games. You got me hooked on a few other games too, but definitely Marvel Champions. I don't know why I'm doing this. But I have to only be doing this because this is the stream and y'all are seeing this. Or otherwise, I wouldn't do this. Such a bad idea. Don't do it, Canje. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm so scared right now. You have no idea. There she is. Eyebrows and lips never painted on my minis. You can't see them to paint them. I know. Like, I did the eyes, I did the eyebrows, but no lips. I won't do lips. But this is her. So we started off with a plain. We came out with her. Is that red on her thumb? I still have to do the belt, which I will once that dries. But this is her as you've seen her come out. I will do the dry brush orange on the hair, the white on this area over here. And then I can actually do this now. And the dark. It's dried up a little. It's okay. I'll do it after I dry brush. Finish it off. So she's looking pretty solid. Have I done her right? Have I done her pretty decent so far? Let me see if I could do the belt now. I can so use my light right now. Draw the X. Can't see. I need my light. It's gonna get bright for a second. I apologize. It's gonna get bright. But I need it. And of course you run out of paint. Jerk. Talk bad to my brush sometimes. Makes me angry. Alright. Now I can turn it. There we go. And voila! Our X-Men symbol is done. So then we grab speed paint for nope, not dark wood. Or nope, not blue. They're everywhere. I've used stuff and put it somewhere being like, okay, well I'll remember where that is, and I don't. So I'm looking for specific paint. This is the necromancer stuff that I need for later. Brown that I don't need. How many people have? Ah, here it is. Grail and Gray. So I'll be using Grail and Gray for the base here that you're seeing. Jean Grey would be pleased. Well, my wife likes to paint. She's good at it. I even bought her an airbrush to keep her intrigued. Nice play. Yeah, the airbrush is the way to go, man. If people are getting into it, I highly recommend it. Only because, let me say this. I'll say it this way, because I won't say, like, if you're getting into it, spend this amount of money. If you've painted some minis, and you're saying to yourself, you enjoy doing it, you want to paint more, and you're on, like, your 15th mini, and you're still enjoying doing it, right? So if you're on your 15th mini that you've painted, and you're like, okay, I still enjoy what's happening, get an airbrush. If you're on your first mini and you're trying it and saying, I don't even know if I'm going to like doing this thing, stick with a rattle can, because then you won't spend a bunch of money for something that you could hate. And then you regret your decision. So that would be my recommendation. My recommendation is, if you're now getting into the hobby of painting minis, use a rattle can, pay for it, get it out there, and try. If you've done this a couple times and you're like, oh my gosh, I love painting minis, I think it's great, I think it's fun, I want to keep doing it, get an airbrush. Get an airbrush. And I'll kind of show you a little bit of my setup after we get done here, so you can see what I'm working with. But once you get that airbrush, priming, zenithal highlighting, varnishing, lifesaver, time saver. Yeah, that's Jean. I just have to, like I said, I just have to dry brush, but I gotta wait for that speed paint to dry. She is phenomenal. Sir, what are we doing with you? Let's see if I can dry brush any of this. So my dry brush is actually a 0-0 round. That's gonna be my dry brush, right? I use 0-0 round. It looks like this. It's very weathered because I've dry brushed the heck out of things with it, because it used to be flat. Now it's not. It's poofy. But it's a 0. It's a 0 round. A 2-0 round. 0-0, not just 1-0, 2. There's actually ones with 3 and 4. But I use double for dry brush. So you clean it off, get it wet, get it ready. And then I'll be dry brushing this yellow. So I'm gonna grab Moon Dust. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna dry brush with the demonic yellow. I'm gonna grab the demonic yellow, and I'm gonna dry brush with that. No, I'm gonna dry brush with the Moon Dust. Let's take a look at the picture. That's more Moon Dusty. So I'm gonna dry brush with the Moon Dust, and make sure it doesn't look like a clown car. Oh, I'm gonna screw this up. Okay, so we're gonna use Moon Dust, which is a very high yellow. A high yeller. And we're gonna put that in here. Grab our 0. Get it wet with paint, and then get as much of the paint off it as you can. Like, I'm even gonna do it over here so you can see. As you can see, I'm already like starting to just rubbing, just wiping the paint off of it, right? Where there's nothing but just little remnants left. Just doing that, and then with those remnants, that's where you go in one stroke. I think I might have taken too much off. Ooh, that is great. Way too much on, but Oh, that looks gross. Yeah, this speed paint on the yellow was not the way to go. It was not the way to go. But oh well. Can't win them all. I'm sure the pros are like rolling in their graves and are watching this in disgust, saying, "Who the hell is that? Who gave him paint? Ruined that." I'm saying that should have just stuck with the regular. My fault. I have to pull it from the camera to get this top area. Yes, there is. There's a lot of ways to remove the paint without destroying the mini. With these contrast paints, it's super easy because they activate really well. I can just paint over this. If this bothers me to no end, yeah. If this bothers me to no end, I can just paint over it. I don't care. But it doesn't bother me that much. It doesn't bother me that much. But what? Yeah, this is turning out disastrous. We'll see how it looks in the end. Um, let's play with a little bit of petals on this to make myself feel a little better. Pop some gold. You're sure to make a lot of happy accidents. Yeah, and it's okay if you do. Don't even worry about it. Like this, it was like, it didn't turn out the color I wanted. It'll be alright. Eh, who cares? I'm sure someone who is super detail oriented and is like, no, I needed to match perfectly and be thematic will be upset, but me, I don't. Not that serious. I'm just doing some toppings of gold on it, just to get a little bit of shine. A little bit of shine on the gold tip. And do his eyeball, which is brown. His eyes are blue, but his I'll do the same thing I did with Gene with him with the eyebrows and blue eyes. Eyebrows brown. Screwed up your wheelchair. Let's see how much more I can free up. Right now, how much y'all just want to? How many of you just kind of want to come up behind me and just be like, "Boo!" Scare me while I'm painting this detail. Oh, fix it. Looks like a learned man. Yeah, years after he's dead, they called it brilliant. For me, they just be like, God, that guy sucked. Now we're gonna use crystal blue for his eyes. Crystal blue. Also, years later, is recognized as an artist. Canje sucks. And boom! It looks like Telesophalis! Vegas, baby! Oh, that's awesome. I like that. That made me smile. Vegas, baby. Alright, so let's get some gold on that carpet. Oh, that was way too. Doing this above so I don't screw this up because I love how this is coming out. I love it so much. Look at this. Look at that. That's just from a dry brush. Isn't that amazing? It really brings out the vibrancy of the carpet. Like, it looks great. Look at that. Look at the carpet. I love it. So that is the carpet that he is on. Yeah. So he's been dry brushed as best as he can. I apologize for the look of the car. Not my best work. But he's good. His mini is mini. Then we'll go to her. There should be a better set of dry brush happening here. So we'll get the dry brush with white. How a new cloth does. That one's wet. Keep your towels handy. I can rub that carpet. I don't want to know what you want to do to the card. This is not that. It's not that late yet, Steven. It's not that late yet. They're children present. For goodness sake. Oh, really? Alright. Oh, get the dry brush. The problem with the dry brushing on the white is that you never know if you wipe all the white off. So you do it on your hand, and it looks fine. Ugh. Runs out when it hurts. And there it is. Get her hair. Try brush some lava orange for her hair. Give it that nice clean, unlike. I know you all understood all of that. Keep brushing my mouth. Hey Ryan, what's going on? We'll put this in here. Up in there. And on top of that dry brush, I add do a I forgot what this method's called. It's gone out of my head. It's like you dry brush something and then you immediately dry brush on top of that. Called I forgot what the method's called. But I did that for the Tainted Grail in here. All right, thanks again, Kay. Thanks for stopping by. And thank you for the thumbnail. Here we go. And good. Then we pop this off. Grab this brush. Doesn't bother me as dry brush. Too bad. And we go around the base with Necromancer Cloak. Clean the base. You can see the blue from where I had it on there. It comes out like this color of blue that was just a little bit rough. The base. Then we let her base dry. Grab old Baldy. Do his base. I was thinking of doing the bases blue to let you know the heroes, the anti-heroes, and the villains. Like the villains would have a red base. I was like, I know the X-Men. And I know Marvel, so I'll be fine. I'm not planning to part with this game anytime soon. See my hands shaking from holding up off. I'm doing the bases. Do that. That's not the camera shaking, that's my hand. Then we do both their bases. And boom. And boom. They are done. Alright, so I thought I was going to show some stuff. So you can see some of my setup. So, but they are done. We're going to let them dry. So that's the two. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So, I love the name for the paints. Yeah, so those are the two. They're done. I really love how the carpet came out on his. I'll wait for this to dry more to see how it looks, and I might add a little bit more to it. But actually, what I'm seeing right here, like right here, with what's coming out, I'm actually starting to like it now that it's drying more with the dry brush. This area here, it looks really good to me. I'm not thrilled with this light. I think I goofed that a little. But this area right here is looking really, really good to me. And then she looks incredible. I think the hair came out really well on her. I think the hair came out well. The colors came out pretty decently, so it's looking really good for her. So like I think she came out really well. But I will finish letting him dry with the dry brush. But he came out pretty decent. I got finger. But we'll let that dry on the mat so you can see the rest of the stuff. So you've seen, like I said, you see me paint Beast, and I've painted Cyclops. So I finished those. In terms, you've seen, I showed you the Marvel characters. I've painted Red Skull. So this is Red Skull that I painted him. So he came out pretty decent with the buckles that I got on him as well for the detailing. So he came out pretty decent. And I painted Taskmaster, who, like, you know, a lot of people do the highlights here to really bring out the cloak. I don't care about that stuff, but I think the hair came out well for Prof too. Yeah, so I did Taskmaster with that same wash that's on there for him. So it came out pretty well with the buckle and gold and whatnot. But if you're thinking about getting a air spray, let's do some lifting. Do some lifting. This let's see here. And let me fix this so y'all can see. I had to do some adjustments here. Bigger video. And we'll turn back on autofocus. So you can see, we can start autofocusing on some stuff so you can see. So I'm going to pull this away. So this is the hood that's here. That's the hood for that I use for whenever I'm painting. So basically, this is a turntable that's on here. But what I do is I hold this. This is the camera moving and not his shaky hands. But what I do is kind of, I'll put the mini on here, and then I'll have it in here. Now you see this dark area that's back here? These are the particles from the airbrush that get caught so they don't go around the house. It gets soaked in here, and then you just need to go like just scrub this out probably once a month to get it back to a decent color. I haven't scrubbed it out, so it's looking kind of gross, but I will. It's still working. But basically, there's no smell because there's also a fan behind there. And what ends up happening is it sucks the fumes, it sucks the particles into this mesh, so it doesn't come out, it doesn't hit you, you don't smell anything. So as you spray, and I don't have the motor on so it won't be loud on stream, but as you spray, you just kind of hold it, and as you spray, you just kind of spray through, spray it around, get everything dark, and then from there, you add white, basically. So I prime with this. You can't see. I prime with this here, which is the Mecha Primer Black Primer that I got, but it's Mecha Primer is the name that I use from Vallejo. So I prime with that, and then I use, that's varnish, and then I use white primer to zenithal highlight. So for every one drop of water is 2 drops of the primer, not paint, primer. Make sure that if you're going to use paint, it's a 1-for-1. So 1 drop of water, 1 drop of paint. But for the primer, for every 1 drop of water is 2 drops of primer. And then you just basically do this. You just do this and then go around in a circle, and it does the whole thing. It's done. It's done after that. Then you zenithal highlight, you go back over here, you find the position, and then you just spray it and it's done. So it makes it super easy to do. And then after that, you just kind of just pop this off where the ink will be, and just pour it out, clean it out, do a spray through to make sure you get it clean, and you're done. Like, it's not hard. There's lots of videos online to do it, but within that time, I could prime and Zenithal highlight. I've done, let's see, because I did it with all of these ones that are on the table here. That's gonna be super blurry, but I did it with, I've primed and Zenithal highlighted all of these minis in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, prime ready to paint. And then it took me about 5 minutes to just clean the airbrush for the next use, and that was it. I was ready to go. And they dry quick. They dry really quick. There's a really cool, see if I can get this focus now. All right, I gotta go back and fix this. I gotta go back and set this thing, or else it's gonna go crazy. So 1 second. Let me turn off the focus. Then start making this the focus. Okay, so if you look on here, I gotta hold the camera proper, sorry. And I need to stay offline, okay. Okay, so if you look on here, this, what you're thinking that you're seeing here is a lot of paint on it. It's very thin. It's a super thin layer that lets you see all the details of the mini. I mean, you see the stripes here that you can paint. So it's a really thin layer. You can actually paint minis with an airbrush if you know how and follow the rules of it. But you get this super thin layer on here that exposes all the different, like, you exposes the muscles on the back, those different things. I mean, for Storm, when we look at hers, exposed her X symbols. You see that hair that's hanging out from the top of her head. You could see that. Like, all these different things that it shows up, the waves in her hair, because it's a really thin coat that goes on. And you see the Zenithal highlight just shows the shadows. You see the shadows of her cape. So once you just do that thin layer of white, get it gray, you get those where those shadows exist, and they stay with the paints. So that when you paint them out, you still have those shadows. You see under his arm where you see, like, it's dark. That's not just how the light is. That's the shadow that's there. See, as I turn him, you still see it. Especially under that arm. Like, you can see all the shadows under his chin that pretty much play out for this character. So it works well. And that's why Zenithal highlighting works. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've painted, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? It's almost 9. So I've been painting for 3 hours. When I rattle, can I leave a texture? When I rattle, can I leave a texture that drives me nuts? Does the airbrush leave a texture? No, Stacy, it does not. Matter of fact, you know what? Screw it. Let me see if I can get this thing. I'm going. The camera's gonna shake, and I'm going to do a prime on a mini so you can see what it looks like. And we'll just keep talking while it happens. So let me do this. Put this up and this. That up. I'll bend this here. And you'll hear like a loud rattle because I turned on my compressor. So it comes with this super tiny compressor that it's about the size of an APC or a power unit for your computer. You know, those small ones that are it's about like this big, about that wide. That's the compressor size. It fits right. It's under my table. It's against the wall. I never bump into it. Only when it cuts on, when enough air goes out that it cuts on, that I even know it's there. And the hose that comes with it is super long. So I'll prime Magneto because I wanted to paint him. So we've got Magneto here. So I'm gonna do this real quick so you can see this. So we got Magneto. He's purple, right? You can see he's purple. He's unpainted. Nothing on him, right? So we put him on the stand, and I'll turn on. Let's see if I can turn on. Is that too bright for the camera? Yeah, it's too bright for the camera. That's okay. I don't need it. All right. So first thing you do, right? is I get water, and I'm going to do 5 drops of water. Might do a little bit more just in case. So that's 2, 3. Yeah, I did about 7. But that's okay. Then I grab my black primer, right? My Vallejo black primer. Shake it up. And I did about 7, right? So 2 purse of 14. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I did that much in there, right? And I'm hitting the camera a lot. I'm sorry. Then I just kind of mix it up, and you'll see it start to bubble. So I mix it up, put my finger on the nozzle at the front, push down and pull back. You see it bubble up? So that mixes it in there. It's ready to go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mute the mic because I'm gonna turn on the vent hood. It is a little loud, and I don't want it to kind of come in and interfere with the sound. So I'm gonna mute the mic, but watch as I spray the mini. Okay, watch as I spray the mini. So I'm going on mute. I have too much water in here. I need to add some more or else it's gonna run. So you see how it was running here? That was because I had too much water in there. See how it fills it up when I got the right amount? Okay, so yeah, so no black spray paint on me. He is prime black, right? So he's completely prime black. And then while he's drying, because I know you're hearing the vent hood going, but while he's drying, just spray this out into a cup right there. Clean out the inside. So this is the whole time while he's drying. Now remember, I only did enough paint, and I can shut this off. I can shut that off. I only did enough paint for him for 1 mini. I could have filled this, and I have filled this to do all of them, so you could prime all of them. Then while they are drying, you clean this out, so you spray that. I grab a solution of rubbing alcohol, right? This kind of gets out the bad pieces of it. Like, gets it really clean. And then I do the same thing like I did when I was mixing. I mix the rubbing alcohol through to really clean things out. So you see it bubbling? Do you see it bubble? So you'll see it just kind of bubble as I'm cleaning. And then you just kind of spray it out. But what I got this thing here. That is just a closed system to spray out all the excess, right? So I would put it, let me move this because I've knocked this over before on the table. So I just put it in here and spray out everything that's in there until that reservoir is empty. And then afterwards, I just spray this in here, like fill it, drain it, and I'm done. That's it. That's it. It's clean at that point. Meanwhile, all your minis are drying. So you're getting ready to Zenithal highlight. All your minis are drying, so you're just kind of waiting to see how this all goes. And I know I'm kind of off camera, but I need to look over and see how this is going. And because the pressure that I have on here is super light to make sure that I don't blow the face off the minis, it takes a little, it takes, like I said, drying, cleaning. About 5 minutes. Unless I have a blockage, which I probably do, and that will be really simple to clean. No, it's going down. But this is all you're doing is just holding it here, being like, oh, just waiting for it to go through. Ba 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 ba. No biggie. And if you find it's taking a long time to drain, all you have to do is just take the front piece off where that needle is, because that's where the air comes out. Just do that to it. There's just a quick piece of blockage that's on it. Put it back on. And go. And there goes. So it's draining out all the stuff that's in it right now. And usually the rubbing alcohol is a lot thicker, so it takes a second, but then we'll do like some water right behind that. That mini's still drying, so it's not too bad. But as you can see, it's covered. I don't have anything on my hands. It's not a mess. It should change sounds when it's empty. I put a lot in here, wow. Oh, it's been empty. Put a little bit of water in it, clean it out. Yeah, just saw it bubble. There it is. And one more wipe through and it's clean. Boom. Done. So then just go through another wipe through of this, and it's clean. It's empty. It's ready for the next set. So what you do at that point, because if you look here, it's still kind of wet. I don't want things to run when I spray. I'm gonna let this dry, and what you can do if you want this to dry faster, because this looks like when you're looking at this, you're like, oh my gosh, that is the thickest layer. That is the thickest layer of paint that you ever see, but it's not. It's super thin. What you can do is, if you're done cleaning this and you're ready to Zenithal highlight, and none of your all your minis are still drying, you can get a hair dryer and just blow the hair dryer on it, like go from side to side. Don't keep the heat on it, but go from side, because that'll make the plastic warp. But just go from side to side with it with the heat, and it'll dry within seconds, right? But he is going good. Once he is done, I will Zenithal highlight him so you can see that he's ready to go. But as you can see, he's primed. He's primed. He's ready to go. I got it done really quick. I cleaned this out while I was waiting for one mini to dry. Imagine if you sprayed all of them. You clean this out, by that time your first mini is dry. You Zenithal highlight, and then you just move down the line, clean this out, move on, go on with your life. This is a time saver. It said, did that bubbling remind anyone of anything, or was it me? Don't use a heat gun. That's not good. But as you can see on him, like I said, he's primed and ready to go. When we'll talk about Zenithal highlighting after he dries. I might put him under the hair dryer really quick, but and I have a hair dryer in here just for this. Whatever, I have to do one mini, and it's taking a long time. But the base is already drying. It dries very quick. The base is already drying on this. And on top of that, like, the girders are dry already. The girders are dry. It's just those like deep nooks and crannies in his face, his cape that ran a little bit. Now that run is drying off, is going through. That is getting there. And when you Zenithal highlight, what you do is you pick a position, you pick a point that is shine, like think the sun is shining on them, like there's the spotlight shining on them, and you want to accentuate that spotlight. So you're gonna really spray white on that area, and then just turn the mini and gray the rest, because it shows like that's where the contrast comes in. But yeah, he's primed and ready to go. So if you're just like, well, I don't want a Zenithal highlight, I just want to prime and go, there you go, done. Canje go in prime time. It's just to keep that in mind how simple it is, right? And while he's drying, are they? No, they're not dry yet. I was going to seal these. I was going to varnish them, but I don't need to varnish them until they're all done. And what varnish does, if you're like, well, I have a feeling I will be kept after stream. But what varnish does is if you paint a mini and then you leave it, because of just kind of the moisture in the air, or just how things are, the paint's gonna peel off over time. It's gonna just peel off your mini, which gets rid of all the beautiful work that you've done. If you want to keep the mini, to keep it, you have to varnish it. And to varnish it, I use this Vallejo's Mecha Varnish once again, and it's gloss varnish, water-based acrylic. So this is every 1 drop of water, 2 drops of this stuff. You spray that on, and it adds this layer of coating that seals the paint on the mini, and it makes it doesn't peel off. It doesn't peel off at all. So I varnish all my minis so that all the work I've been doing won't be lost over time and the paint won't slough off. Like, I varnished the Green Goblin. I varnished him. So all this paint that's on here, it's on here for life. So it's not going anywhere. Yeah, so it's helpful. And like I said, if you just want to prime this bad boy, he's primed and ready to go. As you can see, there's still some wet areas. You don't want a Zenithal with wet, because it's gonna make the paint run and it'll look terrible. But he's got some wet areas here, here, and here that we'll go through. I've unplugged my I haven't plugged that side of that yet. But yeah, this one I purchased probably about a year, no, a couple months ago. It wasn't a year ago. No, it wasn't a year ago. It's getting close to it. But I bought this one. This is the default that came with it. I didn't buy anything special, or, oh, do you need a special spray, a special hose? Nope. All this stuff came together in a kit, and I've been using this as the kit the whole time. And it's super simple to use and do. It's like the triggers on it is push down for air, and push down for air and back for paint. And the further you push back, the more paint you use. If you go halfway, less paint will come out, so you get to determine the amount. But the pressure of the paint is coming through. But just pushing down, it gets the air out. How do you spell Zenithal? You'd have to look that up. You gotta look that up. Look that up by the pros. Brian is going to be, Cynthia's husband, Brian, is going to be doing he's actually doing tutorials. He's going to be doing tutorials on how to do all this stuff. So for people who are like, well, I want to get into it, I like the hobby, I bought I want to get the airbrush to try this stuff out. My next stream of painting, he'll be on there. It'll be on a Sunday, probably. Not this Sunday, but it will be on a Sunday where he will be on and he'll show all the stuff and how to do it. You'll see his fantastic setup. It's just amazing. He does great work. It's almost dry. Like, everything is dry. This is all dry. It's just the mask. Even back here is dry now. All this is dry, so it's just the mask. So once the mask dries, I'll highlight it. So, but yeah. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, Janet pointed out that's how you spell Zenithal. But he's basically almost dry now. This is just one mini, as we're waiting for one mini. If I would have primed multiple then I'd have gone this one, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, giving him time to dry, and then the clean out, that when after I finish the clean out and I come back, he would have been ready to go. But so far, so good. Yeah, there's still a little bit of wet spots. But he'll be dry shortly. I'm not worried about that. And then we will Zenithal highlight him. I won't paint him tonight, because after this I'm done. But it'll be good to see that stuff. I don't know. Do y'all have any questions for me while we're waiting for this to dry? Anything that's you're kind of curious about or want to know what's going on, or I don't know. Talk to me. Ask me something while we're waiting for paint to dry. I just recently got a similar airbrush setup. Really nice. Not to worry about the outside weather to prime and varnish. I know that in and of itself has paid off on this thing, is not having to worry about, oh, is the temperature right? Does it have to sit? Is it baking outside gonna melt my mini? Like, I don't care about that anymore. I'm in AC and enjoying life. How much does a setup like this cost? Let's see. We can do a thing. First, I'm gonna sign out of Amazon. Oh, dang it! I can't look at it without signing into Amazon. Let's see. We'll do airbrush. Kit with compressor. Here we go. And I can share that. Alright, so if you're looking for a setup kit, I just went to Amazon and did airbrush kit with compressor. This comes with everything I have that I bought individually. And it's $150, and it's next day delivery. But this is the one that I have. This one right here. This TimberTech. This is the one I have. And it was $80.99. It comes with the hose. This is exactly what I have. It comes with the same airbrush that I have, the exact compressor I have, the hose that comes to the airbrush and the compressor, the cleaner, and some starter kind of paint bottles to go in. This is what I started with. So you're looking at about can't wait to see how the Master of Magnetism turns out. Steve, hey Steve, what's going on? So this costs about $80.99 for just this kit, and this is all you need. Like, this is it. This is what I have, and I'm good. So you start off with that. Yeah, that's the exact kit. The TimberTech is the one. This is the kit I have, and it's cheaper than when I bought it. So about $80.99, so $81. I hate when people say $80.99. It's $81 for that. And let me see. Let me see if I can find the. And then if you're going for the Vallejo airbrush primer. So this one, and you look here, these are the Vallejo Mecha Primer ones. So there's black primer that's here for about $20. This is a massive bottle. You will be using this forever. And this is the white primer. Once again, if you get these two bottles, they're not small. You will be using this is plenty for $20. So those are the two that you'll need for zenithal highlighting and priming to start, right? So there you go. That's how much that'll cost. How much else you want full account thing? So in terms of the airbrush. All right. This is what I use. This right here. This is the thing I have. It's $14 for this. That's that little canister that you saw that I was spraying the air into. That's what that is. That's $14 for that. And finally, the most important piece of all, besides the airbrush, This bad boy. The airbrush hood filter. This is the thing that I was spraying into so you keep your house feeling good. When you see this, don't worry about it. Do not worry about this because you're like, oh man, I gotta point this out the house. Mine is not pointing outside the house. I don't smell a thing. Because if you look at the back here, that's where it sucks in, that this kind of pulls in the air and the filter catches everything. So you don't have to smell anything. This one's going to be the priciest thing, and it all depends on what you want to get. Mine is this. Yeah. Which one's mine? This one's mine. This is the one I have. And it was 130. So this one, yeah, one of the hoods and the hood filters, this is what you need to, like, you won't get the scent, you won't get the particles, you won't get anything anywhere else but inside this hood. This is what you need. So this is going to be the most expensive buy is the hood. The second most expensive buy is the airbrush, and then everything else is like in the $20 range to get this stuff. So that's what you need. So the most expensive thing is the hood. And it looks like Mr. Man's dry. And he is. He is. Yeah, he's dry. Like, I put my finger on it just to check. See if anything comes off. Nothing comes off. Like, I'm just kind of touching in the areas that look wet. Nope, he's dry. He's done. Ready to go. So let's zenithal highlight this bad boy. So, once again, I'm going to add... This is going to be overkill. I was going to say 10 drops of water. But that's going to be a wasted amount of stuff for 20. We'll say 7 and 14. No, I'll do 10, because it's going to flip me out if I don't. So 10 drops of water. And drops. Grab the white primer. Shake it up. And we're doing 20 drops of white primer. So then we do our bubble like we usually do. Put your finger on the front, bubble it up, cover the top. Then we turn on this, so I'll go mute. But what I'm gonna do, because I don't want you to hear the vent hood as it goes, but what I'm gonna do is the angle that I'm gonna come from is gonna be right here. So I'm gonna come from this angle. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time here. And then once I get this a nice white color, like a grayish color, a light gray, I'll start going around the mini. So keep an eye on that. I'm starting here, and then I'm just gonna start circling around the mini until I get back here again with another pass, and then I'm done. All right? So I'm gonna mute so you can hear. And just like that, zenithal highlighting done. I went a little overboard. I've got a ton left, but that's it. Zenithal highlighting has been completed. Oh, I almost spilled that. Sorry. Sorry, the camera's going crazy. So then I pour it out. Spray it out, pour out the rest. This away because I don't want to knock that over on my table, because that will make me cry. Clean. Try to keep it clean. Grab the rubbing alcohol. 2 drops. Oh, more than 2 drops. Say like 4. Then bubble it up. Just mix and get all the crap that's in there. Grab the unit that I was showing you. Put it in here and get rid of what's inside. Get your water handy, because as soon as the rubbing alcohol drains out, you want to put some water in there, just a little bit. Let that drain out, and then you're good to go from there. And then we'll take a look at him now fully Zenithal highlighted. And a lot of people, while this is going, a lot of people will do from different angles or make the whole mini white or whatnot, but I want a specific angle, and I'm going to show you the shadows that came off of the Zenithal highlight because of it. Out a little. Like I said, every now and then it gets a little clogged. You just pop this off, pinch the needle just to clear the way. And it's always that. It's always that you have to pinch the needle. Then you push down, pull back on the trigger to drain the rest. And while that's happening, I'll shift this to the side so you can see what he looks like. So there he is. Zenithal Prime with shadow. All of it. Even the beams have shadow on them. And as you can see, it's a very thin layer. It's not a lot that is on there. Like, you can, once this fully dries, which will be in a matter of minutes, you will be able to see like all the detail that's on this miniature, if you can't see it already. But yeah, he's ready to paint. He's ready to go. Ooh, this thing has a clog for real. Sorry. And what will happen is when you get a clog like this, it's because I didn't let go of the, like, what you're supposed to do is not stop as soon as you're done. You're supposed to let go of the spray paint piece, but let air come out so it pushes the rest of it through. And every now and then you see the black that's on there. Every now and then you'll just get a little bit of a clog, but you clear it up, like, put it back on here. Yeah, it's going down now. It's going down. So much better than the spray cans. It really is. It really is. And it's like, what I love about the thin layer is that what you can do if you want to be really tricky with it, or just like really slick, you can, this is why they said, like, you can paint a mini with an airbrush. You just varnish it after you're done. So what you can actually do, and what I will be doing for some of my minis, is instead of priming them black, I'm gonna prime them white, and then instead of Zenithal highlighting, I'm gonna air spray onto them the color that I want them to be, and then seal it with varnish. And it will be great. It will be beautiful. There it is. Clear it up finally. Okay. And you just clean this. Second time, just give it a good wipe. And it's clean. Light's green, trap's clean. And it's done. You've seen me Zenithal highlight. Prime and Zenithal highlight a mini. And I didn't have to go outside or wait for the right temperature. So, there you go. And I'll be painting him tomorrow. I'll paint him tomorrow and then post him so you can see what he looks like when he's done. He's going to be all metallic. I'm going to use gemstone metallic. The gemstone metallic paint. And where are you, my purple favorite purple metallic paint? And royal purple. Those are his colors for Magneto. And I will post this. And for the girders that are there, I'm going to be using rough iron for that. And that's going to be him. I'll paint him up and have him ready to display for you all to see. Okay. Oh, that was a lot. Let's go back up to the top. Okay, so that was the 800 sub paint stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it and hope you enjoyed hanging out to see what that looks like. Yeah, 800. That's a huge milestone for me. That's super big, and I'm so happy that you're all here along for the ride. We got a long way to go. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So just kind of, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications whenever new stuff pops up. Or are you going to paint all the castle minis for your Castles of Burgundy all in pledge? I am not getting Castles of Burgundy. That game has passed me by. Yeah, so but I hope that you enjoyed this go through, and there's many more to come. When Oathsworn delivers, I'm immediately stopping everything I'm playing to play Oathsworn. Like, period. I don't care if I'm the first. I don't care if I'm the 100th person who got their pledge. I don't care. As soon as it delivers, everything shifts. I paint. I speed the heck paint, and then I am going to get it to the table very quickly. But there's a lot of stuff coming. I have Burn Cycle. I have not unboxed it at all. It's sitting on a box on my floor because I'm wanting to watch other people play it. It's one of those games where when I played it, I was like, like when I backed it, it's Chip Theory game. So I was like, okay, the company's pretty cool. I wanna support the company, but I didn't like Too Many Bones. I didn't like Cloudspire. I'm curious about Hoplomachus Victorum. I'm curious because that seems cool. So I want to see if Burn Cycle's any fun, and I'm waiting for like Rob from Rob's Gaming Table. He's a huge Chip Theory game fan. Or Adam Smith or One Stop Co-op Shop or anything like that to play it so that I can say, do I need to unbox this or do I need to say, hey, I'm selling my Burn Cycle pledge? I don't know, so I'm waiting to see someone play it so that I can determine if it's a game for me. This was when I was kind of FOMO Kickstarter-y. That's why it's still in the box. But when Oathsworn drops, it will be glorious, it will be beautiful, and it's gonna be amazing. So that's Isofarian Guard. I'm probably gonna play that before I paint it. Like I said, it's just I don't mind playing games that aren't painted, and I know a lot of people don't want to watch it if it's not painted, but Isofarian Guard, I want to play the gameplay and then I'll paint the mini. Oathsworn, all of it. So we'll see. I enjoyed Burn Cycle, but also wasn't impressed. Ooh. Really, Steve? You didn't like it? Yeah, Hoplomachus I'm curious about because it's that gladiator fight thing with the story. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but we'll see how it plays out. So what's to come this week? I'll say I'm curious about, well, first I'll say I'm curious about Hoplomachus. I'm curious about Burn Cycle. I have a lot riding on Elder Scrolls for CTG. I think that's their make or break for me. Like, even if I like Burn Cycle, and I don't think I'm gonna love it, but I think I can like it. But even if I like Burn Cycle, if Elder Scrolls tanks, I love them. They do great work. I will never disparage them ever. But I'd probably be done with them there. And I'll stick with what I know. But we will definitely see. All right. What are the other Kickstarters I have coming? Let's see. I have Aeon Trespass Odyssey, Primal, Oathsworn, Fall of Killforth, of course. That's gonna just be incredible because it's Killforth. Oh, and I actually am gonna be because of the Kickstarters that are slowly making their way across the sea. I'm gonna be doing another purge. So I'm gonna be doing another culling of my collection. A lot of games that I don't want to get rid of, I will anyway because I pass by them and I don't play them, like my Lord of the Rings Revised that I just got. Gone. I'm going to be getting rid of that. Folklore. I will be offloading Folklore because I don't play it anymore. I've played it. I've played all of it. I've beaten it. I'm done. So I'll be doing... I have the creature crate with all the minis, so I'm going to be offloading that. Destinies I'll be offloading. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of games. You'll see it coming out over in the coming weeks where there's a lot of games that I will be offloading for people to see, so it's gonna be great. Spires and Hildegard I have backed. That's gonna be coming. Seventh Citadel I have backed. That's gonna be coming as well. So that's why I said, like, I've got this influx. Homomakis is coming. Madara I'm getting I'm so how Madara is going to work, I'm going to get rid of Madara. And let me move this thing out of the way. We're done right now. So I'm just going to move this away. So, Madara, I'm done with it. I'm not going to play it again. But I did backweight the rest of the story. So what I'm going to do is when it all comes in, I'm going to turn around and say, hey, everybody, I'm selling everything Madara. So look for that in the future. So Madara will be getting offloaded. It's a beautiful game with a great story, but its mechanics drive me insane in terms of, oh my gosh, I could finally survive and I'm not a min-maxer. Level up the bosses, level up everything in there. You need to become a min-maxer to get good. Yeah, I'm out. So that didn't work for me. So I'll be offloading that. Oh god. Lost one. So many. I got a lot of games that I'll be getting rid of. So look for that coming up in the future if you're interested in bringing up the collection. And I don't... you getting rid of Aetherfields? Maybe. That's a maybe. That's a heavy, like a high maybe. Like, potentially, I'm 75% there. I'm waiting for the second wave to come in so that I can play the game with Continuous Dreaming. If Continuous Dreaming is good and the rulebook is better, I'll keep it. If it's not, it's gone. So Aetherfields might go bye-bye. I've decided, this hurts my soul. Oh, I've decided to part with Alter Quest. I love that game so much, and I'm so mad, but I don't. I've played it all. I've beaten everything, and there's no more new content coming out for it ever again. Because you know, the Saddlers have left Blacklist, so anyway. There's a lot of stuff that I'll be offloading. Keep your eyes open for it. I'm going to be posting it in multiple Discords. One Stop Show Up Shop, my Discord, and probably on the Buy Sell Facebook page for that stuff to see that I'll be offloading. So keep your eyes open to those areas. But what's coming up next so far, Thursday is going to be Pandemic Legacy with Steven and Pac-Man. We'll be playing through September. God, we're gonna die. But we're playing through September to see what happens. We got the person who could find a cure, but the other person we haven't found yet. So therefore, we're going through it. I know, Brian. I don't want to get rid of it. I love Alter Quest so much, but I got the Neoprene mat. I got all that stuff. I probably am going to play through Ruins of the Arkenspire live. I've already played it, but I'll play through it live on stream right before I offload it, and then it'll be gone forever. So, we'll see. But like I said, I have to do this. I'm out of space. I promised I promised my girlfriend, I said, I got 3 2x4 Calyx. When they're full, I gotta offload, I gotta cull, because I won't be getting anything else that can't fit on those shelves. And my shelves are full. and I've got Kickstarters coming in. Marvel United has taken up 2 slots on a KLX. And I've been trying to find like a storage solution that I could shrink it down to 1, but all the storage solutions are expensive. And so I'm like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So we'll see. We'll see. But let's talk about what's coming up for us week. Pandemic Legacy, we're gonna go into September. On Pandemic Legacy Season 1 on Tabletop Simulator. Friday, I haven't posted it yet, but I will. I'll be playing Gloomhaven Digital. Rob from Rob's Gaming Table, he's stepped out. He said that he'll come back from time to time, but he's got other priorities he's got to take care of, so he stepped out. And we'll be doing a rotating schedule of people who want to play Gloomhaven Digital with us. That's me, Kate, and Cynthia. So our thing is, we're not trying to be the best, famous, all-powerful, having all the techniques and the specifics of, okay, you need to chain off of you to make you work. We're playing for fun. And if you want to be in the rotation, play for fun. If you come playing for, if you have the thing of being an alpha gamer, or you're like, I must win or else I'm going to be pissed, you don't want to play with us. I will probably be like, this ain't working, and next person in the rotation. Because I want people who just want to come, hang out, laugh, joke, have a good time to play the game. We want to win. We're not playing just to not, whatever. We want to win. But winning isn't why we're playing. We're playing because we enjoy each other's company. We're playing because we enjoy playing games together and we laugh and we have a good time. If you want to be in the rotation, be part of that. And we will welcome every person in the rotation with open arms to do that stuff. If you come in the rotation and be like, okay, you need to do this. We got to do this. We need to be efficient. Immediately, I'm going to be like, this ain't working. You got to find another group. This ain't going to happen. Because we want to have a good time with it. I will tell you all what to do and yell at y'all for making simple mistakes. That's happened. And we will not tolerate it again. So, if you want to be part of it, I'm going to have a sign-up sheet going up. Friday, we've got Jack with us. I said his name properly this time. He's not Frank, he's Jack. But we've got Jack playing again with us. And then from there, but I will have a sign-up sheet for people who are interested in getting into playing with us on Gloomhaven Digital. We've unlocked a lot. We've got a lot of characters still left to unlock, but we've got a good variety for you to choose from. That when you come in, don't expect to be like, okay, well, I need to play this character. Play whoever the heck you want. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. We just want to have fun. Let's see, what else? So that's Friday. Saturday, there's no one-stop co-op shop chat. Sunday, I'm probably not going to stream this Sunday. Because I got some other stuff outside to take care of. But then next week, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff happening. Next week, Tuesday, we're going back to Zarehuia's Heart of Strabog. Next week, Thursday, we're going into Pandemic. Friday, we're playing Gloomhaven Digital. Saturday, I am driving to Raleigh to visit Steve. And Steve, Kim, his wife Kim, and myself, we're going to be streaming from there, playing board games through that weekend. So that's going to be fun. You're going to see me a lot on their stuff. So we're going to be going through that, having a good time, and it's going to be great. Leroy Jacobs. that happened early on. So, yeah, we're going to be having a rally party. We're going to have some fun. He has all the Marvel United that I want to play, so we'll be playing that. I'm taking Explore It. We're going to play that. We're going to play Street Masters. We're going to play a bunch of other games, and we're going to get all that stuff going for the setup. I'm invading Steve's house, eating all his chips, drinking all his booze, and we're going to have a good time playing that stuff. So it's going to be amazing, and we're going to stream it, because Kim said last night on Steve's stream about Marvel United ranking, she was like, yeah, y'all need to stream it. So we're going to stream it and see how it goes. So I'll check with him to see if he needs me to bring anything other than some games, and we're going to have a fun day of gaming. It probably is going to be like an ongoing, just fun day of gaming that we do. So look for that next week, Saturday, and we'll see how it goes. Saturday or Sunday. We'll talk about it. I think it's Saturday, but cool. Gulp. Okay. I've been on for 3 hours. 3.5 hours. Time to shut it down. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Really turned out really well, by the way. I like how it looks now. I like how this looks. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreons. Thank you to my YouTube subscribers. If you're neither, thank you for coming by and just checking out and hanging with us and joking with us in chat from time to time. I really appreciate it. I'm still on this crazy ride. I'm gonna ride it until the wheels fall off. But I'll be playing board games, meeting people. If you're going to Gen Con, look for me. Right? I'm not gonna have any type of weird symbol or insignia, but if you see me, just come up and be like, hey, Derek, what's going on? I'm so and so. I watch your channel. Let's hang out. Let's play some games. I'm there. I want to meet all of you. I will be going to PAX. I will be going to UK Game Expo. I need to save up. I really need to save up and move further out of this pandemic, but I want to go to Essen. Not the Essen in Pandemic Legacy Season 1, because we've crashed that city. But Essen, I want to go to Essen. So I'm planning on doing these trips over time, like through time, so we could do stuff. So it's going to be great. But, all right. Let me get out of here and get some dinner and then go to bed. All right, Greg, thanks for joining. Same thing, Brian. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I appreciate it, and we'll see you when we hit the next milestone. Hopefully, we'll see. But until then, I love you all. Thank you so much, and I will see you all next time. Insert comment or slogan here. Bye, everybody.